Hello and welcome to tonight's TPK. As I hit the camera while sitting down.
Fix it in post.
Alright.
Jonathan.
Jonathan will fix it, yeah. The story of our plans.
Adds to Outlook calendar. 2 more hours.
Oh.
Finally ahead.
Oh dear. No more prepping. So, tonight we join the heroes, the noble heroes, as they continue their adventure in the in the tunnels beneath the town of Tor Taisad. If you guys recall from our last episode, they are currently at the border fortified town of Tor Taisad, and they have entered the iron mines, seeking some of that blue ore that they were told definitely to leave alone, which of course means that
Touch it.
going to go back for the blue ore. Since it's always a good idea to do so, they've split the party. A few of them heading off. A few of you headed off down the tunnel, down a side tunnel that you discovered in the room full of blue ore. At the sound of picks and shovels beating on stone, you guys headed off down that tunnel to go explore that, leaving the 3 girls behind in the watery tunnel, where a patrol soon came looking for you. That's where we pick up, with Honora, Eve, and Millicene in the rocky, narrow spaces above the watery tunnel. Beneath you, 10 of the elven guards mill about in the water. A couple of them step forward to grab the slave that they killed, who seemed convinced that he had sent you guys down, and that you guys had told him to stay out of the mines, and you'd gone down into the mines ahead of him. But they didn't believe his story, since he couldn't lead you to them. That was the end of him. What are you guys doing?
I think we should stay.
So, just to describe again what you guys are seeing currently, the tunnel that you're in is a small, about 6 feet wide space, low and cramped. You can almost stand up entirely. It's just a little bit of an uncomfortable hunch that you have to keep up here. I guess a Nora can stand up at full height, right?
I mean, we're both elves.
She's a little short for an elf. I thought she was like unusually short. Where I got
She
that
can be. Whatever you want.
Maybe the miniature gave me that idea. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a small miniature.
So, this small tunnel that you're in extends to the north and extends to the south from you. It does get a little bit more narrow as it goes further to the north. But the southern tunnel heads off kind of in the direction that you saw Bard, Orin, Gary, Thoric, and Banab head off.
Go down the tunnel, heading in the direction. But I want to keep a lookout to see if there's anything that might indicate that there is a giant spider of some kind. Like,
I mean, that
any
seems highly presumptuous.
Spiders, they don't exist. I'm not there.
We feed you to the next one.
Okay, so you can go ahead and roll a perception check. I will allow you advantage because Honora looks particularly terrified, and she's assisting you on your perception check.
Did you look there? Did you look there? What about there? Are you sure you looked there?
16.
As you begin to head down the tunnel, you see that there are fine, shiny, little threads all along the surface of the rock face.
That was creepy.
That was
Top, the bottoms. It covers the entire roughly circular shape of this tunnel as
There's
you
no
proceed
way
down.
we can travel through the tunnel without touching the webs.
No.
Nope, I'm not going. No, absolutely not. That's how spider webs work. Touching, spider comes. I'm staying here. We're not moving. They're on their own. We'll just watch the guards mill about.
They,
I have spoken.
Eve, what are you doing?
I'll keep a lookout from behind.
It's
Make
too
sure.
narrow for you to fly down the tunnel.
Probably.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be too narrow for you to fly down.
Not to
Whatever
see.
your wingspan is, it's more than 6 feet.
Relatively.
Yeah, it's got to be big enough to get you lift. Maybe
Can
your
you
belly's full of hydrogen.
Punch people with your wings? Like if they're just be like,
Like a
that'd be
second
cool.
set of arms on my back.
yes, do it. When we decide to attack the guards when we're bored, just, swoop down, punch, wing punch. Done.
All right, so while
Wing
you girls are
punch.
figuring out what you're going to do with the tunnel,
Wing punch.
back at the ranch,
In a title here.
Yes, I read the title.
This is creepy.
Thoric, Gary, Orn, Bard,
The
and
boys.
Belnab. The five of you stand at the mouth of the mouth of the fissure that tapers off behind you into the mining area, where workers pick at the walls, loading their drag sleds with glowing bluish ore. The room in front of you is illuminated a bright yellowish orange by a crucible. I remembered that term this time. A large metal crucible that rises in the middle of this room, blazing vents of fire all along its rising.
What kind of music is this?
Creepy.
Jeez.
Bard hears a piano in the tunnel and suddenly is more scared. How is this in here?
Oh yeah, by the way, this week we're using Sirenscape.
Shameless plug.
I meant to announce that beforehand. Oh, that's why I have checklists.
Are we allowed to look at this little map thing that you put in front
Yes, you're allowed to look at the map thing that is
Okay,
like
not
partially
supposed-
the area that is
Sorry,
partially
I was
revealed.
like, what did you do to this paper?
I meant to
Seems
put
totally
post-it notes
cheating.
on there to like say don't move this, but
yeah. No, I was like,
Oh,
Bard
okay.
got hungry and just moved
Okay,
ate
cool.
some
All these
paper.
is- there we go.
Sorry.
Nice.
What's wrong?
This music is really
But
kind of
now,
creepy.
like, we need to go through the mouth.
You want to play Bernard?
Dude, I am more than happy.
If
I
could
am
do
more
it,
than
like a
happy for
but
him.
you're playing
Fuck it.
Thoric.
He could be Thoric and Bernard.
All right, so you're standing in this. You're standing
I
at
could
the
do it
edge
again.
of this
Oh, that's too much
well-lit
fun.
room. All of you are silhouetted against this light from anyone who's behind you, and I'm going to say you're probably aware that you can be seen if you continue to stand here. The room ahead of you is a wide pit that extends at least one more tier beyond what you can see into the earth, because the crucible is just like a chimney rising out of that pit, and you can't see the bottom of it. The fire blazes so hot that you can feel the heat even from over here.
I look up to questioning.
What it is.
Uh,
Google with a crucible. like,
well,
shoot.
we're all learning.
Would you like to give a definition to the audience?
Oh, shoot. Let me bring up the page again.
What is a crucible?
It is a large. It's like a smelter. It's like a smelter. I didn't want to use the term smelter.
Hey there, you
Smelter.
beautiful people. A crucible is a ceramic or metal container in which metals or other substances may be melted or subjected to very high temperatures.
Did you know this was an educational channel?
Yep.
Surprise!
Thanks, Webster.
We thought this through.
And here I was looking for another tag.
Webster.
Okay, so with the crucible rising, and you can see the sky open above, so you know that there's an exit above there. With the crucible rising above you, you can see this whole room. Oh, and you can also see the fissures. I forgot to mention this last time. You guys did. I did mention this last time. I just want to remind you. You can also see that there are at least 2 other fissures on the far side of this room that break off into the rock. They are well lit to the point where you can see them. This entire room is very well lit, almost like daylight. So, how do you guys want to proceed?
Well, Owen, what do you think about this?
It's just very strange that these people are here, this deep in the mountain. There's got to be a different entrance.
Oh, we'll leave the women. The women. We can't leave the women behind if we find the exit to it.
Do you think we should go back and find them?
Yes, I feel like we need to do this as a group.
Well,
Okay.
I agree with the fat dwarf. we should go find the women.
Why, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's actually a compliment for dwarves. Size.
I know.
All right, so we're gonna head back and go back to the women.
Okay. You guys head back down the tunnel the way that you came, passing the small alcoves in the rock. You arrive back at that tunnel that was full of rubble on one side and a low puddle of water on the other. Remember that in order to get into this room, you had to go under the rock face at the far end of it.
Yep.
All right. Any of you who wish may roll a perception check.
Ooh. Thoric sees nothing. It knows nothing. Oh,
Or tries to smell underwater.
critical 1. It smells like water, guys.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh, God.
The
And the stream is broken.
the table for tonight will be charged at 5.
Oh yeah, you're trying to make it good for us. I also try to smell the water.
I guess 11 is the highest.
I don't even know what smelling water would sound like.
It's called drowning.
Somebody
Yeah.
find out.
Gary.
That's what you do when you drown.
Try this at home.
It's rather loud as the 5 of you are splashing through the water, getting your way over there. But Gary, you definitely hear the sound of conversation coming from the other room. It's a deeper kind of conversation, deeper voices, which don't sound like the 3 women that you left behind in that room.
I'm gonna reach out for the dwarf and the dragon and kind of halt them from further
Splash,
moving.
splash,
So
splash,
kind of maybe wade in the water.
Okay. Bard, you hear everyone come to a stop. You're now the only one splashing forward.
I start swimming in circles around them.
I hear other people there. There's other people with the women. But I don't hear the women talking.
Okay.
Should we send a dog to investigate?
No, if we don't hear the women, we need to go and they might be in trouble.
Oh. That's why it stopped us.
No, let's go.
What?
I'm gonna charge
let's
ahead
try to
then.
sneak up there.
Okay, so
I'm not a sneaky guy. Let's just go.
that stealth nonsense. Okay, so you just charge forward?
Not charge, but I briskly power walk with my swords out.
Okay.
Or slither.
In the water?
Yeah, you're going to have to go under this rock ledge. Do you want to look first, or do you just want to, dive under?
I'm diving under.
Okay.
Women are in
Guys
trouble.
swim like a
Hey, it's part of my code.
I
Okay.
will bless Orn.
Okay.
Cantrip.
I bless you too.
Miraculous.
Yeah, Minrathis is name.
So as you dive, as the roughly crocodile-like head of Orn bursts through the surface, your eyes adjust to the glowing light of this
paper crocodile.
Bluish. It took me a second, but I got it. As your eyes adjust to this room, Orin, you see that there are 6 Galthani guards in this room. They look to be milling about.
I don't see any of the women.
Nope. They're the guards are standing on top of the glowing blue stone. 2 of them are like, poking at it with their spears as they're
How
conversing.
far are they?
They don't look very alert.
And how far?
They're about 15 feet away from you.
15 feet?
Yep. Yep.
I slowly back away.
Bard, you Adventures of Orin and Bard.
Could be its own thing.
Be a children's book.
All right. Hey, buddy. We should go back. I petted you. You. I'm gonna go back and I'm just gonna drag Bard with me.
Put some peanut butter on your tail.
My tail? What?
No, his tail.
Peanut butter on
One's
his
tail.
tail. Have you fallen?
I can't say no!
So
Peanut butter jokes off the gate. All right.
Gary, mere seconds after he went on the other side, the large form of Orin resurfaces with Bard under his arm.
Well, what did I tell you? What did you see?
Where the hell's the peanut butter? You told me there was peanut butter.
There's several guards or Galthani out there poking around with a spear. I don't see any of the women.
Just as I feared, the women left us first.
Do they have abandonment issues?
Yes.
You wanna talk about that, Gary?
It's turned into a.
Not right now.
It's a perfect time for us to all just bro
It's
out.
really hard to feel the room right now. Okay.
I mean,
Well, Bard's moment of being a support animal over very quickly.
We just go ask them where the women.
That's a really bad idea. You've had some good ideas. That was not one of them.
Well, we're friendly. We'd say hello.
We're friendly. They're probably not. We're not authorized to be here. Remember, we lied
slept
to
in
get in.
that castle. We're here on official business. It worked the
Business
first
that
time.
we created.
Exactly.
Technically, Gary, we're not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
So while you guys are deciding
Top
this,
secret mission.
meanwhile up in the tunnels,
Yeah, but they don't know.
Did we see? Can we see where he might have popped out and then went back in? We were watching.
no, you can't see that anymore because
Okay.
you're
It's
over the
too-
center of the room
Okay.
and you're way up in the ceiling. So the only way you can see down is like straight down onto that blue spear.
All right. Honora's doing my nails.
Okay,
Yellow file.
because priorities.
I mean, we're just waiting on in or whatever they are.
And how
So
many?
we
The male
can't hear
humanoids.
anything
How many were
in
there?
the tunnels. Are we too
10,
far
6.
away from where
15,
we
I think you said.
Hmm?
blew up?
It's 6.
6. They're 15 feet away.
Too far
Oh,
away?
I knew there was 15.
Oh no, you can't. You can hear the conversation below.
Oh, what are they talking
Okay,
about?
but we walked away from where we.
Spiderweb Alley.
You're pretty much right where you went up. I didn't think you guys moved, unless you guys did.
Okay,
Did you
no,
guys want-
But we can't see anything.
You can see the glowing blue rock beneath you. Remember in that large
Yeah.
central, in that the
Where
central,
we had been sitting.
yeah, where you guys had been sitting on top of that large blue rock. So there are 6 of the guards, of the 6 of the 10 guards stayed behind in that room, and they're on top of that rock.
We couldn't see anything to the. We can only see the rock and them on top of it. We couldn't see around.
No, ma'am.
If they look straight up, are we? Is it too dark for them to see us?
Probably because you guys went through a crack.
Okay.
So,
I want to spit.
if they look, you want to spit?
Well,
do you want
wait,
to try
wait,
to
wait,
hit
wait.
someone with your spit, or do you just
Well,
want
I was
to
gonna
spit?
say, if they can't see if they look up, then it's gonna be funny to me.
If they're looking for you, they're elves and they have dark vision, so there's a reasonably good chance that they'll.
Then I won't-
Gotcha.
then I
Yeah,
won't-
but it's not
Let's
superior
not.
dark
Then I
vision.
won't spit. on them.
It's true.
They aren't drow after.
I'll spit on them when we kill them.
Okay, but you asked what they were discussing.
Yes.
There is a merchant in town. He arrived this morning. The first barber merchant to make it to Port Haisad in 4 months, and the city is all agog with mercenaries who are clamoring to join his caravan as he sets out for Akbadet and the dwarvish city of Helheim beyond.
It's the best thing we've ever created. Okay.
He probably didn't create it then.
Just gonna tug that knowledge in my back pocket.
Love you too, Orn. So, what was your next character going to be?
Oh.
Hey, Dingleberry.
Dingle.
Dingleberry.
Oh
The
god.
pixie with
No.
no
please.
wings.
Would you like a free feat? That will get you a free feat. Coming in as Dingleberry will get you a free
I'm not
feat.
doing it. I can't do it.
Oh.
All right. How do we solve this? How do we get back together?
It's still on the girls? Still on the chicks?
So, did you guys want to do anything? You're getting your nails done. Eve, did you want to do anything while you're up here? You're in this narrow tunnel that extends to the north and the south. It does get narrower as you go to the north.
Check the north.
Okay. So, roll me a perception check, please.
Thoric's in the corner on this.
Five.
5?
Backpack.
Okay.
Well, it hit my.
All right.
Roll again.
The tunnel continues to narrow as you go to the north, but eventually you come across see an object ahead of you. Looks like a shriveled mass of maybe twigs or dead branches. It's covered in some kind of layer of faintly glowing material. Looks like someone draped like a blanket over it. Very, very thin blanket. But it looks really like a bundle of dried twigs that's all hunched up together.
Now, narrower area or.
It's now narrow to the point where you're like having to like hunch over to get through it.
Mm.
But it's still wide enough you can spread your arms out reasonably wide. You know those you know the movie Alien, where the captain of the ship gets into those corridors with the flamethrower? It's about that much
Spoiler.
space.
Just
I don't know
spoilers.
why that came to my mind. No reason.
Yeah. Going back.
You want to go back?
Yes.
Do you want to? Okay. Sorry. So you're so Eve turns around. Meanwhile,
Nope.
back at the boys' camp.
Going back.
This is why we survive.
So
The dog looks disappointedly up at his masters.
We tell them it's top secret business. And we're at the.
Gary, you don't understand.
Oh, right.
that
This-
we're not
this
supposed
plan.
to be here.
Well, they don't know that. They're just simple. Oh, God.
Do you think we could take them?
Yes. I think we absolutely. We just the
Well,
thing
you
now
saw
is
them,
where
not
do we
me.
put the bodies?
What do they look like?
Yeah,
What they mean?
could I do I guess it would be an insight check on our capabilities versus their capabilities? And how
Self-awareness.
I would feel with my military background.
I think that's definitely an insight check. What's your insight score?
I think it's a +1.
You're unfamiliar with these type of guards. They do appear well armed and well provisioned. And you remember that the magistrate told you that he was outnumbered in this fortress by the number of mercenaries that were currently living inside the
And these
inside
look
the
similar
town.
to those type of mercenaries.
They look
Okay.
similar to the kind of guards that you saw
Okay.
serving the magistrate. Better armed than most of the mercenaries.
So no, it's a no. It's a big fat no. I don't think we can do that. There's only 3 of us because we don't know where the women are at.
We got 5 of us.
Are there any other ways to explore, or any other ways to
Dog,
get back to where we were?
Me, you. Look,
Count the dog.
Thunderwave.
That's true. He does thunder away. That's a little weird.
It's a very loud bark.
I mean, we can put it to a vote. I vote no, but if you guys want to vote, what do you
Well,
guys say?
we can try to reason with them, and if it does go south, I'll
You know what?
shoot
You've
him in the
had
face.
you've had some tremendous luck lately, so
Orn,
screw it. Let's do it.
Orn, I'd like you to roll a Constitution save for me,
What
please.
did I do? What did I eat?
I ate everything. It can't be that.
Mod 20.
Mod 20? Okay.
Do I feel anything?
Okay, Bard's gonna dive back under and go back towards the
I'm
guards.
following Bard because he's freaking dog and he's gonna do something stupid.
I'm
I'll swim under the
following
ship.
the rest.
Okay.
Because
We're
we're in
all
this
going
together.
under. The other
So-
side.
Oh, a bunch of it.
The SS Bard dives.
Battle Bard.
Bard, you resurface on the other side. The room.
Oh.
Oh.
6 elven eyes, 6 pairs of elven eyes rotate towards you.
Do
As,
we hear
uh,
that?
I start.
Yep, you guys definitely hear a dog bark echo through the room below.
I start swimming
Oh.
around
Get
as if to take their attention away from the people that are about to surface behind me.
Okay. They are really perplexed. One of them, like, how is a dog doing down here?
I kind of do like that little
Wait.
playful stance.
With your butt in the air?
With the butt in
wagging?
the air.
Genius.
Why is the dog wearing pauldrons? What the hell?
Battle Bard!
Why are you wearing the pauldrons? I
I'm
just
getting ready
noticed
for
the
Thunderwave.
Bring the thunder.
Roll a.
Performance, right?
Yeah, no. Roll a deception check.
Oh. Can I go up on my hind legs and try to like juggle some rocks? That'd be a performance.
You can try.
I have a much better modifier for performance. How's about a 17?
17. Gary and Orin, as the two of you surface, and Thoric. Sorry, Gary, Orin, and Thoric, as the 3 of you surface. And you hear Bard, Benab glubbing behind you. As the 3 of you, in sync, rise above the water. You see Bard on the far side of the room, standing on his hind legs, juggling glowing blue rocks in his hands.
This dog.
Okay.
Tossing it
He's
up
not
with my
really
mouth.
juggling them. He's more like tossing them with his paws.
Away.
Like pawing at him.
Yep, six
We
of
can't
the.
leave the dog.
Do they look like the guards look like?
You guys have. I'll say you guys have time for one action before they're gonna have a chance to notice that you're standing there.
What are the guards doing? Do they look
They're
like?
they're staring at a dog that is kicking little blue pebbles in the air with its front paws, with the look that I guess you would look at a dog that's kicking little blue pebbles in the air.
Pretty cool.
Think we can do this?
Are there any slaves in there too, or is it just guards?
Just 3 guards. There's some blood on top of the blue rock at the center of
You
the
said
room.
just 3 guards?
6.
Oh, I thought you just said 3. I was like, what?
You
No.
did just say 3. But
Sorry.
we saw blood.
There's some blood on the blue rock in the middle of the room.
Barrett
Alright.
says it's
I'm gonna surprise Hadouken one of them with an Eldritch Blast.
Oh,
So we don't want to
Like
sneak
an
away.
advantage here.
So we don't want to
No,
sneak
you
away.
guys,
Advantage.
no, I'm saying you guys have a surprise round.
we just get an
Okay.
extra round attack.
Yep.
Jesus.
Before they
You
do
sure,
anything.
you sure you don't
Yeah,
want
we
to
saw
sneak
the
around?
blood. We see the blood. The women. That's the women's blood.
Where did this come from?
Did your glasses get by?
Huh?
Where did this come from?
What?
What?
He's saying it fine.
All right.
What?
What are you talking about?
Okay.
Saying what way? Alright. Attack.
We all die.
Alright.
This is the TPK
TPK.
moment.
Yeah.
17 to hit.
Oh, yeah. No, that definitely does hit.
Okay.
Wait, why'd you roll
I
that?
just lost our chat.
Have advantage.
Okay.
There it is.
We need to see our adoring fan.
This is a segment out of Isle of Dogs. Thank you, Barrett.
Yes.
11 points of force damage.
Quite good, quite good.
Guess on whatever the closest one.
You're-
The closest one to the blood.
You forced my hand. Now I gotta charge.
All right.
Samurai
See how
One of the guards
I believe
goes
it's
flying
attack, so I think
back
I'm gonna have to-
a few feet. He's still upright, but he definitely took a very serious punch.
This is the wrong.
That,
knock the wind out of them.
a fine hit.
Would I be able to get there in time? Like within my.
No. No,
You said you're only 15 feet
you're
away.
15 feet away, but you're moving. Well, it's half your movement. Your movement's 30 feet. Yeah, you could get through this round. Yes.
I'm
Sorry.
gonna check my movement
Yeah.
speed.
Overrule myself.
Overruled.
I'm sure your movement is
Make
30
it
feet.
official.
One action instantaneous.
All right. So
You can move up to if your movement is 30
it's
feet.
official.
You can now move and engage.
So they just need a dex save.
Yay.
Yes.
Happy?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's an official
Yeah.
ruling. I can't be mad
We
about
like
that.
official rules.
So
Alright.
You're gonna have to, like,
are we
keep
in
track of these
combat
rules.
officially now, Andy?
Well, I still get my action with
Officially
this.
in combat.
I'm letting you guys do the surprise round beforehand.
All right. And I'm going to. Can I get to the one that was thrown on the ground? Is he prone?
No, he's now further away from you.
Okay. So then I'll just go to the nearest
Number two.
one, and I'm going to
They
attack
should-
with
it should
both my
be-
weapons.
Spell save
12.
DC.
Ooh, not good.
Yeah.
10 and 9.
No, sir.
It's not great
You
chances.
thought you had enough distance, but both of your sword blows fall short.
Action surge.
Barrack.
Action surge.
Why did I
Is
say
this all-
Barrack? Thor.
Is this all on?
rolling.
Yeah. Is this all?
I know. I'm
uh,
letting you know he's ready. To get ready.
Are we still on surprise round?
We are still in surprise round.
At 20!
You make 2 attacks? Or just
Yeah,
one?
because I use 2 weapons.
Oh, that gives you both attacks to do action surge?
Yeah, I get a whole
Okay.
attack action.
Alright.
So that would be. I'm going to say that was with. Just to kind of be fair with my second. Because I didn't dictate or whatever. So 1d6 plus 3. Are we just doing the max die times 2? Okay. So it'll be 12, 15.
You can roll it if you'd rather roll it.
No. No, thank you.
What was the damage?
15.
Okay, he's still up, but you definitely very badly injured him. All right, Thoric.
At the guard that Orn just attacked, I'm going to do a Sacred Flame cantrip.
Yeah.
And that is a meter beat 12 dex save. Dexterity. You gotta-
He did not make it.
Alright, cool. You will take 1d8 radiant damage. That is, dang it, 2. Wait, but plus 4, 6.
6?
Yes.
The room illuminates in a yellowish fire.
Yes.
Okay, in a yellowish blaze, the room, which was glowing faintly bluish, illuminates yellow briefly as the guard screams in agony, falls onto the ground, and shudders faintly as he dies.
Oh, that was
You.
a lovely color.
I spit on him.
Whoa.
I was going to spit.
Okay.
Can we make that purple next time?
Bard. Purple? Sure.
So I guess as like in
Alright.
slow mo, they're all getting blasted by all kinds of awful stuff. I'm gonna just finish going. Thunderwave.
Yeah, I'll say you can you can do a thunder wave
Yes.
on this round.
Throw him into my sword.
Thunderwave through his
Oh,
throat.
that'd be cool.
So you can hit 2 of them if you do thunder wave right now.
2 of them.
You can hit
Two of
what's
6.
your? Is it a cone?
It is a cone.
Okay, you can hit.
Wait, how far away am I from?
You're about 15 feet away from them.
Okay.
So
they're all like split up across the room.
they were on top of the blue rock in front of you. So yeah, you can hit 4 of them.
Can I move into the?
Not during the surprise round because you spent your round doing the performance thing and you
Okay.
moved into the room.
So the surprise. So is it a full movement action or is it just an action?
It's just. I think it's just an action.
You make a ruling.
Do it.
Rolling.
We'll say it's.
rolling.
I'm gonna say it would be a full round for you to do it, but since you moved into the room, that was
Sure.
your action, and you were doing that to distract them. They didn't move yet on that
Gotcha.
round, so they got to move and charge. You got to do the performance to distract them, and now you can do a thunder wave to attack, which
But
will
I'm only
hit
gonna hit 2 of them or
4 of them.
Okay, yeah, I'll do it then. Thunder wave.
So then, what's
All right,
the
so they
DC?
get,
DC 14. If they fail, they take 2d8 damage and get pushed 10 feet.
3 of them failed.
All right, I'm gonna push them towards our guys that just came out of the water.
So
So
one of them is the guy who just got blasted backwards towards you. So he's gonna get ping ponged. How much damage did he take?
That would be. They're just gonna take the average plus 1. That'll be 10. 10 thunder damage.
He shudders and falls to the ground. And the other 2 take 10. And the other one took 5, right? Half damage because he passed his save.
5, yeah.
All right, cool. With that, it's time for the battle to commence.
Yeah, like a
Uh-oh.
really cheesy, like talking fire from like movies for battle sequences. It's like obnoxious.
Well, we already killed 2 of them.
Did we kill 2 of them?
Yep,
Yeah.
you guys put down 2 of them very nicely.
You're doing a great job.
You've
We're all
got-
enjoying watching.
The large
Yeah, when do you guys
blue
do it?
rock,
My nails are done.
the exterior of the room, with the entrance over
She's
here.
making them real pointy so I can just pause.
Good use.
Ooh yeah.
Just jump down and just
I know. I was gonna ask if we jump.
heels first.
If we jump, is that gonna cause us
Boots on
damage?
me for walking.
Okay, Bernard's over here. I forgot to do Bernard's action, but he
Oh,
would
yeah.
have blocked anyway.
Okay.
So,
Throws a back at
I
that.
want to do
Gary, you're right there. Orn, you're front and center here. And Bard, you dashed over here. And Thoric, right there with your.
Wait, why am I in front?
Because you charged forward.
Just
You
kidding.
did check. You always charge for it.
All
I'm
right.
a fighter.
And with that,
Like
Makes
Christina.
sense.
it is time for a new round of initiative. Who's ruling against me?
Alexis.
Eve.
Eve. Roll.
Better roll good.
Okay. I got a 19.
No.
So,
That's pretty hard to beat.
and with that,
Oh, really?
yep. Yep. These 2 are going to rush Orn. This guy is going to attack Bard, and this guy is going to rush Gary.
Gary. Even though Gary looks scary as a miniature, he's a feeble
Alright.
old man.
These 2 guys are going to take a step back.
Wait,
A step back.
attack of opportunity?
Is the 5 foot step still a thing?
If they go out of my 5 foot reach,
If they just take a 5 foot step back, they can they ignore that, right? The 5 foot.
if
They're
they
going back.
disengage, which means they negate their whole action to move out of my threat range.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
So if they're doing that, then that
So he's not going to move, but he is.
is he going to
So he's-
disengage or
Nope, he's not going to disengage.
so?
This guy's going to attack Gary from here, and this guy's going to attack Bard from here.
So, when do you want me to do my opportunity attack?
You don't get one because he wasn't in range.
Oh, he
didn't-
wasn't originally in range.
No.
Okay. Start.
So. So, they are attacking you with spears. Means
Oh no. Do they have peanut butter on them? I'm still looking for the peanut butter.
Are you trying to constipate yourself?
I got the chunky
badly
kind.
promised
needs
peanut
to.
butter.
Does peanut butter
So,
work for that?
I need some fiber.
I need cheese.
Lauren, 2 spears coming at you. Does a 12 hit you?
Yeah, he's used to it.
12? No.
Mod 20.
Welcome, Hammerheads.
Yes.
All right. You're going to take 6 points of piercing damage from that spear. Gary!
Noted.
That's a 17 to hit you.
Yeah.
6 points of piercing damage, sir. Bard! This guy looks really angry at you. 17.
I'm Battle Bod. Of course that hits me.
6 points of piercing damage for you, Gary. And
Oh.
this one turns to his compatriot over his shoulder and he goes, "Don't waste time with the with the dog. Go and get the knight."
Bart?
Ooh.
And with that, it will be Melusine's
I feel
initiative.
inflated.
I'm
you
going
can-
to ask Eve if she will kindly. Well, can I jump without? What happens if I just jump from this height? First of all, how much damage do I
I
have to take?
think I said you guys were 12 feet in the air, so you would take 1d6 falling damage if you were to jump down. It's definitely a bit of space.
Could she cushion it with a person?
Fireball him from above.
That's my next. I really want to do like a jump down in a cool like Charlie's Angels pose with the three of us. But also I can
Which one, the music
The
or
music. It's terrible on the knees.
So, Andy, if she was to try to jump
That's
down
true.
on top of somebody,
Thanks, sir.
there's height differential there.
Okay. I will allow an acrobatics check with you. However, it will be disadvantaged because you're jumping through a small crevasse in a dress.
You know what?
Whoa.
Let me just
Clumsily climb down.
let me just firebolt from up here.
There you go.
There you go.
That sounds like a
Alright.
better option.
You're smarter
You want me
than I am.
to
Roll you
roll-
firebolting
I
now.
forgot to roll for
Um,
control.
Who can I see from my position?
Sorry, I forgot
Just-
to ask you to.
I forgot myself.
Can I see those three, or how many's on the circle? I can't.
Control.
2.
2 of them are on the circle.
All right, so I guess those are the only 2 I can see. So I
Sure.
guess I'll be.
Although I did roll
Um,
12.
I'll send 2 to coward guy and 1 to guy engaged.
Too many crickets. You've got that many
I think you
firebolts?
do. Wait.
Magic missile or fireball?
Oh, that's right. I'm doing firebolt. Sorry, I was
Okay.
thinking magic missile.
That's what
Yeah.
I would
Oh, sure,
be
sorry. Do I need
asinine.
to?
Yes, ma'am.
Roll-
You just shot
Roll your
3
control.
fireballs from her hand?
Barely. 8.
Did you just say Jiminy Crickets?
Yeah, he does. He does that.
The 8 is a
That's your
successful.
control.
Yep.
Okay, I was like,
Yep. I had the little clear standy things. I forgot what I did with those, so that we could display which ones were, which of you were in the air.
We'll just
So
remember.
we'll just remember that these 3 are in the air right now.
21 to hit.
Yes, that definitely hits. How much damage you do?
21?
Um,
We just had 21?
Yes.
1d10 fire. 10.
You can do 6 if you want to do average plus.
Yeah, I'll just do that. That's easier.
Okay. And now everybody's damaged. The one guard that had somehow managed to evade any damage catches fire from a direction.
From above.
Ah!
Heavenly fire from above.
She's a
Fire.
freaking
Lord shall
helicopter.
worship me.
Fire from above.
Wait, what?
I'm sorry, I wasn't aware.
Bard.
Wait,
You're the cleric.
Yes.
Bard. Your action, sir.
All right.
Hey, she didn't
Not
get an
yet,
action.
you don't.
I am going to.
Not yet.
Yeah.
You going this way?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Oh yeah, I was confused
calm
with the
down.
surprise round.
I
We're
guess
all
I'm
thinking about
going
what?
to Thunder Wave these 2 in front of me. Yeah.
Thunder.
Yep, you can do that without. Yep. So they need to do.
I'm going to do.
You need to roll a control for that one, right? Because that's a spell.
Yes.
It's an arcane spell.
Achoo! 13.
Got it.
13!
They
Sounds
also
so
have it. The lowest was a
Really?
17.
Wow. Glad we got those rolls out of
You're
them.
welcome.
So they both take 5 thunder damage.
Okay.
And get pushed 10 feet away from me. Get back.
10 feet,
10 feet.
even if they pass the save.
No, you're right. If they pass, they don't get
I
pulled
didn't
away.
start it. I just finished it.
Damn it.
And with that,
Okay.
it is over to Thoric.
Right on. I am going to charge, and the distance between me and the guard to Orin's left, Bart's right. What is that? Would that be enough for one action? Charge and attack.
So you're at half movement in the water. Just remember that.
So that'd be a full action distance.
You're pretty close. What's your move? 20 feet?
I just want to.
So your movement will be 10 feet, which would get you 1, 2, not in range to him.
And then I will.
But you could dash to him, and then you'd be engaging him.
Okay, I want to.
He does have a spear, which means if you move through a space around one of the spaces around him, he'll get an attack of opportunity on you.
Yeah, if you can move around somebody as long as you stay within the 5 of that person.
Within their threat range. Spears have a 1-inch longer threat.
I'm gonna try a Sacred Flame on him.
Okay. I mean,
So-
why change a system that works?
Yes.
So he needs to make a deck save?
Yeah,
please?
dex save.
He doesn't make it.
Yay! Yeah.
He stares at you wide-eyed.
There it is. 8 damage. 8 damage.
8 damage. He looks very bad. He's very badly burned. He's still alive, but he's very badly burned.
Purple flames get you.
Yeah.
Purple flame.
With that, it's over. With that, it is over to Gary.
Right.
All right. So you've got a guy who's trying to
Geriatrics.
skewer you with a spear.
Yep. I can't Eldritch Blast me. Unless I
I hate you
Eldritch,
so much.
if they're within melee range of me, I have disadvantage on.
Yes, sir. You
You
also
because I love my own jokes.
you also have disadvantage on your ability your casting check because you're engaged in combat.
That's fine. I'm gonna reach into my satchel, and pull out the Kopesh that I was given, that was turned into my hex weapon. Never seen me do this before, and I'm gonna swing at him with this Kopesh.
So Gary, he's going to attack you as you move into range.
Oh, I thought we were in range.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
not.
Master.
He was
You
because he's
can't
got a
do it.
10-foot range on his spear.
Well,
And
you got
This
that,
is
that feat?
it burns
He
me.
is going to do an additional 6 points of damage to you.
Ooh, you're almost dead.
Wait, so if he was out of range of me, then I
He
can't.
has a spear. He has an additional 5-foot attack.
Oh, so he was in range.
Does
He
he have the
wasn't.
polearm feat?
Polearm
Or
feat?
polearm master? Talk about that later.
I get 2d8. 5.
Alright, does a
Yes.
20.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, hits.
Yes. Yes.
6 damage.
Okay. That will. You hack into him, blood spraying into the shining blue water around you. He staggers back, but is still up. All right, and with that, it's over to Orn.
Alright, so yeah, I mean the guy in front of me, I'm gonna attack him with both my blades. I'll have the darker red for my main weapon, the lighter red for my secondary. Oh man. Okay, that was okay. It was almost a 20. Alright, so I got a mod 20
Yes.
and 5 damage.
Did only one hit?
Only one hit.
Okay.
The other one was almost
Gotcha.
a 20, but
You nick him, drawing blood. Doesn't look too good. And with that, it's over to Eve. So you're basically staring through this small crevasse, and Elosine has just fired her firebolt through it, and you can see through it, so you can see the two guys on top of the shining blue rock.
Forgot about that now.
He's too concerned about where Melusine is. He's just like,
Help out Gary.
But Bernard just surfaced, so I was
That's fine.
I should have had you activate. I'm sorry, I forgot about that.
and we good.
I
Nice.
No man. Oh well.
That light
An
was
arrow.
on fire.
An arrow dinks into the blue stone.
Is it too late to use my bonus action?
No. What do
Can
you
I try to poof out?
Sure. No, it didn't work. The sound of
That wasn't a poof.
The sound of dog crap spraying into the water splashes. Suddenly, the chamber, which smelled pretty clean beforehand, because this happened previously, now smells a little bit more rank.
Instantly checks his feet.
Curry.
It is
Instant-
time.
Oh, God.
Peanut butter.
It is time.
Do I spray my opponent? Does
Time
it-
for
does-
initiative
does-
roll.
does skunk-
Initiative roll?
Yes.
Please tell me you got it.
6.
7. All right. So
Where's you got a gavel? He does have a gavel.
He does have a gavel.
with that, the guy who's attacking Bard is going to turn tail.
Turn his tail.
So he's
This is backwards. Hey, did you go out of my threat range?
No,
the
because
spear.
he was not in your threat range to begin with. I'm
Uh,
getting better at designing
spears.
Is
enemies.
he in water too?
Yes, I reduced his movement. He just used his full action for it, so he could have gone.
Oh.
He could have gone 60 feet. Instead, he only went 30 feet.
We have somebody advocating for hit mod for dog feces, at least a +2.
That
Your
is
Honor.
valid. It's a ranged attack.
Unfortunately, it was out of range.
Is
I
it more
thi-
like
I-
a slit thing or something?
I
it was
think
a cone in the other direction.
yeah, it was also facing in the wrong direction. So I think it only works if he's
With
aiming
a
at them.
+1
Now-
splash damage.
Next time Orin's to surface above the water with my behind.
I have a dog and I'm not afraid to use it. Dukers!
Rambo dog.
This could be like a
Battle
pre-battle tactic for you guys, where you feed the dog curry right before you go into
Oh,
We do a lot of strategies that we
battle.
got.
Here, Bart, here's some peanut butter. It's never peanut
I
butter.
can't say no.
Stop!
I like that one.
Oh,
The cinch should do something. Con save on not to puke.
I agree. I agree. If he was within 5 feet. All right. So this guy's going to reposition. He's kind of like stumbling, holding onto his spear. He's still smoking on his back and shoulders. His robes are faintly singed. He looks like he needs some aloe vera. Anyway, he's going to reposition to right here, and
I hate that.
the other guy's happy where he is. The other guy's stuck fighting Gary. Can't really do anything about it. All right, so the two of them are going to attack you, Orin. Orin, does a 14 hit you?
No.
Okay, they both miss with their spears. You successfully bat them aside. It's a little bit easier at close range. Gary, one is for you.
Oh. Wait, what happened?
He can't quite. He's shocked at something about your visage at close range.
Must be the glasses.
breath.
Yeah, probably the glasses. And with that, it's over to E. Your action, man.
Oh, I forgot.
Wait, you did all their actions already?
I know, right?
We need to take him
Attempt to
down.
shoot again.
You guys got very lucky with those early attacks.
What are you? Get the man running!
A 13.
Whom are you shooting at? It does not hit, by the way. So,
Who are you missing?
I meant to
Yeah,
ask,
who
are you missing?
Who did you not hit?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Are you firing into close combat?
No.
Are you? Do
No.
you want to fire into close combat? You want to fire into close combat? If you were shooting at one that was fighting Orin, you might hit Orin.
Already said it's missed, so.
Yeah, it was your fault.
Yeah,
Orin.
Too late!
I did. Yeah, I did.
Ah!
Who are you attacking, Orin?
I wonder.
You want to run away?
No.
I'll give you an
Orin never
inspiration die
runs
if you want to
away.
run away.
That is not part of his code. God bless America. I mean, 10.
10, no sir. No dice. Gary,
There's a lot of dice.
Well,
water splashing around, the smell of
I
dog
can still
crap.
see that guy, right?
You can still see that guy.
Right, well.
You'll have disadvantage for your for any magic you want to cast right now, but you can
Yeah.
if you want to.
Was he hit at all, or is he like.
He looks injured.
He was Thunderwave?
Yes, sir.
The one that's running away
Yep.
bravely.
He doesn't look fresh.
So
His hair's a little tousled.
What do I do?
You got like 0.3 seconds to figure this out.
The world goes in some of Gary. Or maybe it's just Gary. Yeah.
It's bullet time.
All right. Guess we're gonna reach out and we're gonna disadvantage. Try to.
Drawing upon your nearly a
Royally-
century-long worth of experience, right?
Do I have disadvantage on controlling it too, or
Yes,
is
sir,
that
because you're in close combat.
I have to roll
2d20s to take the lower.
and then also 2d20s on the hit too?
Asmodine, are you from Australia?
That gives me about 25% or 50%. All right. Instead, since he's visible, I'm going to cast Charm Person, and since he's in combat with us, you get advantage on your roll. You gotta beat a 13.
Okay, but you gotta do your control spell first. 2d20s, please, sir.
Well, thanks for joining
us. Our first one.
Critical.
All right.
One.
The
Thank you.
room, the dark room that is glowing faintly blue, suddenly gets very, very dark.
Uh-oh.
Charm Person didn't work.
You hear a tear in reality.
What is happening?
You opened the freaking
Oh,
warp
no.
gate.
Chaotic magic. It just went bad.
You opened the
Magic
warp.
whip.
It might not be bad though.
My charm is
Mm.
person.
It's
It
not
can't
gonna be
that correct.
good.
No, the essence of chaotic magic is that.
Here we are, guys.
We're about to get so
I think this is session
right.
6, our first miscast.
Sweet.
Oh no.
Do you have like a little wheel that you're gonna spin for like awful things? Like,
I do. Kind of. It's kind of like a wheel.
tax evasion.
Alrighty. What level spell was this, Gary?
Oh, it's just a little.
Okay. Splendid. And with that, it'll be
Gary's
What?
Gary's Fox. There's
God.
reality.
That's the worst. It's worse than tax evasion.
the spell fails. Gary, you are racked by psychic pain as you all see the room flash, sort of like a disco party, from originating from Gary's head. Gary, you take 11 psychic damage.
Ouch.
You just watched
Oh,
300
gee.
episodes of The
What's
View.
your total HP?
I don't think you win that.
I go to 1.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
still alive, even though you.
Oh,
I don't want you to be dead.
I gotta
Yeah,
heal
you
you now.
do.
It's your
Thank you, Gary. I gotta freaking heal you now.
Dead.
You just don't have a lot going for you HP wise.
You do lose the spell.
Well,
Gary, quit almost dying.
Thoric,
Yes.
your initiative. The room explodes
Wow.
in white light briefly and then returns slowly to the glowing blue.
So it got really dark, then bright, and then now
Yep.
it's normal.
You heard the sort of the sucking sound of energy being drawn towards Gary as it was suddenly released in a burst of white light.
What do we see from?
The same thing.
Same thing,
Yeah,
okay.
the room glows white
Okay.
from Gary's head, as if Gary's
Okay.
head is a flashlight or a strobe.
I mean, he is
That-
bald.
that
He's
works.
I
a-
wasn't sure if it was
concert
just like
just
a
happened in
whoop
2
or like
seconds.
a shoot.
No, it would be wide enough for you. A light that bright, you feel like you could have seen it from a mile away.
but did it disappear since I was knocked to 0 HP?
Was that a
Yeah,
glare
no, that's
off his
fine.
head?
Yeah, the room's
You're
back to
at
normal.
1 HP.
Oh.
I thought it was just a
Well, no,
glare
I get
off
knocked
of
to
Gary's
0,
head.
but once
It's
per
only once,
day,
it's fine.
I go back to 1 health if I get.
So Thoric,
Yes.
you're standing. You
That's cool.
you see this happen. You can see Orn closely engaged. Gary is still. He's kind of like staggering on his feet. The guard is kind of stumbling backward, but he looks okay. He's going to swing at Gary here soon. What do you want to do?
Real quick, I'm going to do healing words, Gary. I'm gonna heal you, sucker.
It's my fun.
We're gonna get healed. Healed.
Tilted.
Healed.
Is this D4? I'm not familiar with the die. This is the D4.
That is a
Yeah.
D4.
Yes.
The
Oh.
triangle.
Is there 4 sides?
Pyramid.
Sorry, I don't count good.
Ain't counting good.
When
Well.
it counting schools did me dirty.
Oh.
Alright, you get 5 HP.
So you add your spell mod?
Yeah, it's 1.
Oh.
I was doing
Wait,
Great
no,
Sacred Flame.
you're a life cleric, right?
Bard.
Yeah, you get a bonus to your healing spell.
In addition
The
to
room,
bonus
yeah,
bonus?
which is only black and white for you,
It should be
returns
+2.
to a darker hue of black.
There we go.
Yeah.
Back
Okay.
to normal.
So then 10. Wait, no.
The guard that was
Four,
fighting you is
7.
splashing his way across the room.
7, I think.
Some
He's 7 HP.
Yes.
some deep instinct within me sees something running away, and I have to go after it. So I'm going to try to squeeze one out and poof behind him for a little ankle nip. Oh yes, I launch.
I was hoping for more
Hyperdrive.
curry. Okay. So you want to go right behind him?
Yes.
Chase that ass.
You catch him just as he's reaching the banks.
I can still have another
Just as he's reaching the banks of the water, you appear behind him and roll your attack, sir.
Are you about the German Shepherd, like
Oh yeah.
police dog? This
It's
canine.
going to die, bitch.
Canine. All right. So what was the dice roll?
That was not good. Let's see. Wait, since he's back turned, do I get advantage?
Sure. What the hell?
All right. That one liner was too good. I got a hit. Oh, that's not much better.
Better.
Cheddar. Better cheddar.
I think you need a 14.
Do I need a 14 to hit?
Doesn't matter what we know.
14. Oh wait. Yeah, so a 14 is not gonna hit.
It's not hit. No, sir. You just miss him
By
as,
the ear.
as he splashes away.
Okay.
All right.
But I am in range.
You are in range.
his-
Melusine, go ahead and take your action for Bernab, Enora, and yourself.
Honor's not doing.
Nora's not doing
She's
it.
not doing anything. She doesn't do magic.
That's right. You said that.
All right. Here. He
Honor
is not
or
in
Bernard?
range for anybody right now.
Whom?
Bernard.
He's not. No, he can move.
I thought he used his
He's at half his
bonus
movement,
round to move out of the water.
He was the last one under, so I think we just forgot about him. He's a slave. We forget.
I forgot. Where do you want him?
Have him move over with Gary because he's looking like he needs a little help, older man.
Go.
She can get you right there.
He's respectful of his elders.
All right.
Oh, time play, boy.
And then I'm gonna have him attack with his longsword. Do I add everything normal with him, or is it just what's on the dice?
No, it's he has a modifier. Yep.
Okay, I just didn't know because he's 11.
No, ma'am.
Okay, then it's
Yeah, this dog is way too sober too.
And
aren't we all?
with that, it is
And then
time
no,
for.
I get to go.
That's
Melcy
right. I'm
gets to
sorry.
go.
Excuse me, Melusine.
Who's on the rock?
You got two guys.
What kind of
Both
rock we
of them-
talking about?
Both of them stabbing at Orin.
Superhero down on top of him.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I might. Eve, do you want to go down, or do you want to stay up here? Because I'm not jumping.
Poo shotgun.
Yes.
Say hello to my little friend.
Someone has to carry like a huge bag of curry with them, mixed in
If
with
you want to
peanut
stay
butter.
up here, then that's fine. But
Yeah, I'm
Like
fine.
old peanut butter.
I'll
Go
be
down?
down there to join the fight.
all right.
As long as I
We're gonna have Eve bring us, and we're gonna Charlie Angel pose in the middle of the rock, and then I'm going to acid
Like
splash
the original one though. right?
the closest elf. Yeah, I get to be Farrah Fawcett.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
So you're flying down. I'll say one of you can roll. So which one do you want to hit?
We're just
I have
going.
to
We're
carry
just like,
them.
yeah, she's carrying us down, and then I'm going to attack
Okay.
Yeah, they're moving.
Which one do you want?
the closest one that we land to. So I guess that guy's closest to the center. And Honora, she ain't gonna do nothing, but she's here.
You should drag that body back.
All right. You
forward.
splash down
Great.
near the edge of the rock.
And I'm gonna acid splash.
Yeah,
Just
he's about the body's
boop,
end.
here it is.
Okay.
Right here.
Roll
He's getting there.
control.
5
No, ma'am. It fizzles out of control. You lose the magic.
cantrip though, so. Okay, I just make sure. All right, that's
Nothing,
fine.
nothing bad happens.
That's not a shock.
And with that, it's over
can't see that
to
far.
Bard.
Do I have glasses on? No, I'm blind.
Did I forget something?
You did.
I forgot to do
No,
my.
it's not Bard.
I forgot to
It's,
roll
that
for-
was the end of the round.
That
I
was
forgot, I forgot to roll for initiative. I don't know how I
roll
did
for
that.
initiative.
Uh-huh.
Roll a d20.
You will be beaten this time. 13.
Yes, you win. So we did that correctly. Bard, it's your initiative.
There it is.
Can we roll it?
Wouldn't it be her?
Is it my
She just
initiative?
went.
My turn to roll?
No, it's
She
That was the end of
ended,
the
on,
last round.
her.
round.
The round ended.
and then
with
now
Yeah,
it's
so
starting
it's
back
now
with her.
starting back.
You almost skipped her.
Yes.
Round,
I have a headache. Sorry.
No, you-
That's
We rolled
I
for
didn't take
initiative
long.
'cause
That's
Nosy
my
just
defense.
finished her turn.
All right. Your action now, ma'am.
All
So
right.
you're down here.
I'm gonna.
All right. We'll say that action took place, but because Eve would have needed to do her movement action. So this round, she's doing her movement action to fly you down.
Okay.
This round, you're on the ground. Last round, you attack and you're in the air.
Okay,
Better?
that's fine. Yeah,
Alright.
I'm cool with that. Yeah, I'm gonna firebolt this guy. Just
Do it.
blow him up.
Which one are you attacking?
The one that's right there closest. Not the one that's engaged. I can't.
They're all.
I need to
This
put
guy.
that one.
Gotcha.
The freaking one
The
who's
one,
not
the
doing
one that, the
anything.
one that, the one that's
You like
badly
laser
burned.
pointer?
I need a. Yeah, can we get laser
He got a
pointers?
little sizzle on it.
6 control.
Good thing I'm not a cat.
Six. No, ma'am.
No.
Yeah.
The spell fizzles
I should
out
have
of control.
stayed
Dive
up
across the
in the
table.
little cave. I was doing so well up there.
Bard.
All right, whatever. I
He's
wanted-
getting away
I
from
wanted to
you.
focus.
Ah! Wait, did he run out of my threat zone?
Nope, he hasn't had a chance to
Okay,
move
okay.
yet.
I'm gonna.
Get him down.
Nip him.
Get him down.
He's going to die! Apparently, Bard is German.
Go after him.
Right now, the German Shepherd, our common ancestor, is coming out right now. Alright, here we
Go for
go.
the neck.
It's the wound.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, a modest 20.
That will hit, sir. What's your
Alright.
damage?
It is. What's my rate going
32.
nowadays? That is going to be a 9. Fighting.
Oh,
9.
Piercing.
Bard,
9?
you
Achilles
take
heel.
a chunk out of his leg.
Yes.
Blood sprays across the stones. He's still up, but he does not look good.
Nice.
Thoric
Is his movement speed?
he screams. His scream fills the tunnel and echoes up the tunnel the way that he was running.
Oh.
Shit.
Okay,
That's
so
that.
we want to. We definitely want to get rid of the guy who's trying to.
We can't really talk much right now. Got 6 seconds.
I'm going to target.
One misses.
Is that 60 feet between me and the guy that Bard's attacking?
Yeah.
Is that a 60-foot range?
The one that Bard's attacking?
Yes.
10, 20, 30, 40. Yeah.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna do Sacred Flame cantrip on him. It's a deck save.
Prime.
That's it.
Did you already do it?
Sorry. He rolled a 15.
Yeah. He said.
Does he save any? Does he get any damage or?
Sacred Flame's a cantrip, so no.
Okay.
Not with
All right.
that one.
These guys are tenacious.
Bernard didn't go.
I'm sorry.
Forgot him too. Terrible.
I don't know why. Normally I'm really good about that. This
not forget me.
ain't some
Get this
aspirin.
man off of me.
I kind of want you to play Bernard.
things for you.
That's your backup character if you die.
Yeah.
We win.
Yeah, I'll have him attack that guy with him and Gary. That's gonna be 18
Yes, ma'am.
to attack, and then
Big boy Barnabas.
what is it?
38 points of slash.
That's just gonna be 2 damage.
Call him Barnabas.
Isn't there mod to it?
Bard
I
nicks-
forget that. I don't
Bard
know.
nicks
I
the
don't
guard.
flip it. It'll
Wait,
be.
You gotta add the mod.
I didn't add the mod. Sorry, because I forget. So be 5.
Bard rams his sword in, opening
Bard.
Bard.
Down
now. Rams his sword in over the shield, opening his throat as the guard falls into the water, turning it red.
Take that.
All right. So, Gary, you're unengaged now.
You hear that? You're
I'm
single.
gonna- Oh, is it his turn still? Or?
No,
Yeah, he just-
I'm gonna high five Barnabas.
No, you can call him Barnabas. He's gonna accept it.
In view of
Barnabas.
this guy
Right
that's
now, I'm just
the
gonna name
dog
it sus
fighting.
murder.
So,
This is like a
Inspector
character win for
Bard.
you.
put you right there. That should do it.
No,
Character's
Bard,
Alright.
excuse me.
I'm gonna roll to control it. I'm casting Elder Flame.
Disadvantage. What'd you get?
I got a 1.
Oh my god!
All dying.
It's like Christmas
So,
for Andy. you know?
Gary, thank you for making my dreams come true.
I think Gary needs to start peeling his mask off as he
Gary,
rolls
you
one.
feel so
Reality
the pressure in your
Yeah,
mind
one.
has not fully receded as you stumble forward, summoning the eldritch energy The pressure begins to build in your mind.
Dissecution. Dissecution.
Dissecution. Do you have a hammer, Andy? It's time.
Execution.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah, that just came out of nowhere.
Look at the other guy.
Is this a cantrip?
Yeah.
All right. Everybody look out for an episode of Gary killing his dice.
You gotta line up the other dice to see.
Gary, you are the target of the spell. Roll damage.
Oh no.
I just healed you, bro.
This is like Ron
Come on, roll
Weasley's
me a
wand.
one.
Yes.
Busted and bounces back.
yes.
10.
Max damage.
Gary,
damage.
Gary blazes
Did
in
you just kill yourself?
purple fire, right?
Yeah, I knocked myself to 0 again.
Purple fire illuminates the
Sorry, my
room
dog
as
went over
Gary
you.
falls to the ground, smoldering.
Jesus.
Old Gary.
As you hear
Gary.
eldritch voices
Yeah.
scream as if from
Smell
afar.
of
Old
old
bundle of
burning flesh.
Thor, Orn, you're up.
Guess that means we're only 1/5 of the way to a TPK. Well done, guys.
Yay!
Don't worry, I'm working on it.
Dude, I did all the damage to myself.
I already have a backup
I'll
character.
never make
She
it
ready.
out of this cave.
That's stupid.
Bombus is
Of course,
coming
I
out.
rolled a 10.
No. God, no.
I told you, quit being a
Unless
dick.
you wear the costume.
I mean, he could still be alive right now.
Yeah.
There are a number of characters that
Yeah,
still be
you have
alive.
to wear
literally-
that costume.
Oh,
I
I
could
will.
roll
That
1
predated.
Then
through
I
7.
will.
Yeah, then okay. But I rolled a 10.
Wrist is probably not
Another one.
alive.
Good course.
No, she was only 100.
18 to hit.
You know who is alive?
Yes, sir.
And that is
Oh,
going
God.
to be a total of
course.
7 damage.
Okay,
It's amazing.
Orn, you hack down one of your assailants.
Oh, thank God.
Falls onto the stone, gurgling his last. Eve, the two women down on the side, on either side, have landed, and your hands are free. Whatever
We pose
weapon you
for a minute.
choose.
I am going to attempt.
Superhero landing! Superhero landing!
Oh, my knees!
So hard on the knees.
That's why she carried us.
How far is the guy from me?
Whom? Which one?
Money on the
The
rock.
one in front.
He's within 10 feet.
Huh?
He's within
Trying
10
to
feet.
gross out W.
What about the
Okay,
one
I can
near
still
the dog?
shoot. Not
No,
the one near
Yeah,
you.
you're 10 feet away from the guy that's standing.
Yeah, so you
The
won't have
coward.
disadvantage.
Gotta shoot.
Okay.
Yep, this guy's gonna die. 8.
Another dice for dissecution.
And this was my favorite one.
The arrow goes wide. And with that, it is time for
New character, new
the
die.
good guys. As he looks around, like realizes that he's
All your friends are dead.
realizes how this is gonna go. Raises and he like gives Orn. He gives you a little bit of a salute. Raises his shield, raises his spear, and draws back.
Oh, I
Come
thought
at
he was
me,
gonna
bro.
kill himself.
I did.
All right.
I have failed.
Whoa.
Say natural 20.
I didn't mean it like that. I meant like in a respectful way.
with the
a
speed.
gentle way.
With all the speed and skill that he can summon, he rams the spear between both of your blades just an instant before you can block it, dealing 12 points of piercing damage to you.
I'm good.
Just like Spartan 300 you.
I look at him.
This guy is going
And I
to
Nope,
limp up the tunnel. Oh, and you get an attack of opportunity. He's gonna risk it.
Alright.
He's going for it.
Okay.
Oh, 26.
Oh yeah. You don't even need to roll damage
9!
because you all hear a gurgling gasp as Bard brings him down
Throat.
and
Out.
rips his windpipe out. Something.
I look back at the party. Are they proud? I got blood all over my face.
Good boy!
As you see
Smell
your
blood curry.
your best
Bard,
friend.
as you look back at your friends over the twitching body of this elf that you've ripped his windpipe out of, something deep in your primal nature is very satisfied.
Oh, so did I just see my buddy get stabbed when I turned around?
Yeah,
all
you,
happy.
you saw me shoot myself in the face.
You're not.
Yeah. So as you look back, as you look back into the room, Bard, you see
Gary just
Gary's
collapsed in the water,
smoldering
exploded.
body floating in the
Oh,
water.
my
You see Orn catch a spear in his rib cage, and you see Eve shoot an arrow off into the darkness.
Oh, this is one of those moments where there's the two cruel owners that are both calling the dog. Just
Hey, I will find peanut butter
Who's gonna roll?
You already promised peanut butter. I'm gonna poof over the Gary.
Well, you did your. I guess you can move action, yeah.
Yep, 5.
Boom.
Oof.
No, not
Gary.
Warren Gary.
Oh,
Yep,
sorry.
Nope, that's fine.
The other guy.
He used the peanut butter thing again, and there was no peanut butter.
You're floating.
Oh, yeah,
You appear in the water. Just the water just underneath your chin, as Gary floats incoherently next to you.
I nudge him with my nose. Are
Do
you
you
okay?
whine
Do you say it?
pathetically? Yep.
Get up!
He's
Get
not.
up now!
And with that, it's time for initiative.
Thoric, roll a d20.
Oh man,
Ooh, yeah.
I can't do a German
Oh,
accent. It's
Nat
very
20,
interesting.
baby. Let's go.
Nat 20.
Oh wow! You guys
Yeah.
win. Eve.
Yeah.
We went.
So there's one guy left.
Right.
Yep.
All right. Eve.
You're on
action
it this time.
I'm getting the hang of
To
it.
shoot again.
Oh my god.
You're gonna need to buy an entirely new bag of dice.
It's cool. I've already blasted myself in the face.
Yeah.
Twice in a row.
I think we're gonna like microwave.
Orange.
your dice.
Gary's
We gotta
doing
find
the
something
worst, so
Orange, you
extra
still with
awful
us?
For your
Yes.
dice.
Yes.
Finish.
So, I guess I'm gonna have to
Move.
move
Yep.
towards him.
Yep. Alrighty. That'll be a 22 to hit.
I'm down. How much damage?
6 points of damage.
Yep.
Orin stumbles to the ground, catching the spear in his gut. As the guard wrenches the spear out. And,
Can I bonus action second wind as a falling action?
Yeah. I mean, I don't see why not.
All right, 1d10.
So what are you at? What do you need?
Well, when you go down to 0, you just go down to 0, right? So I get 8 points back. I was at 2.
Was it our enemy's initiative or our initiative?
It was our
his
initiative.
initiative. Yeah. All right. I'll say you can stagger up.
Enemies.
Yeah. No,
Think
that's
about
cool.
that.
So if I add 8, am I going to 8 or am I going to 6?
I think as the rules go, you just get reduced to 0.
Okay.
It's
so eight.
only if you go negative, your full health, that you're like dead. You can
Okay.
just go to 0.
It's your call. But I'll start prone,
You
to be fair.
you are at 8.
Okay.
That is the rule.
And with that, so you're still prone.
Roll
Gary.
my first death save.
Hmm?
What do I do for that? Just roll d20.
Yes, sir. Just d20. What's the roll? 16. That's one success. You got to roll 10 or higher.
Oh, okay.
Thoric.
If you have
Okay,
another
'cause
spell
I
slot.
have 2 more slots. Alright. Geez, so you're at 8, you're just prone, right?
Yeah, I'm prone. I'm kind of coughing up some blood,
Okay.
working through it. Oh man, I can get through it.
You're at 0, right?
I'm floating in the water unconscious.
Just a flesh wound.
Alright, I'm gonna use healing word again on Gary.
What healing word do you say to him?
Hey, precious. Why don't you get on up from that water? Hey, mighty cold in there.
Oh my god, are you Herbert or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually rolled really good. So you get
It's like the reverse.
So you get 9 HP back.
Herbert's dream.
You get 9 HP back. Let me put some nice butter in that wound.
Oh my
Nice sweet healing butter.
Did I
god.
get
You
peanut
got,
butter?
you got Gary Philia.
Butter?
Yeah, sure. You want some of this butter too?
Oh, slow down.
Too much humor! Too much humor! Bad word!
All right. So the camera pans left
Oh.
to Bard.
Hard left, hard left.
You remind me of
It kind of fades out on Thor
You're
and Gary.
I'm like right there.
Yeah, you're
I'm
right
like
there.
Right up in this.
Yeah.
So,
The camera pans left to you, Bard, and your horrified expression.
poof. No. Yeah. Well, it looks like he's getting healed, so I was about
Oh
to
yeah,
do that.
he's getting something.
Nice. Something's going on there.
Res
Yes, I'm gonna
erection.
go over to.
No!
Well done. If only so we can call this episode that.
He does seem to be rising.
All right.
The rise. What?
I guess I'm gonna go over to.
You gotta go to your chat.
I'm gonna go over to Orn and lick him for cure wounds.
All right. What's your
Lick
movement?
wounds.
Lick wounds.
What's your movement?
Like 30,
30 feet? Okay.
40 feet actually.
All right, you're good. You make it over there.
All right, cure wounds. What is that?
Yeah.
Do you get the
I need
app?
it on
Yeah, you can do cure wounds.
chat settings.
Yeah.
It's lick wounds. Lick wounds.
Yeah.
You do all the
I'll
work.
wait for you to blow your spells and then I do it. So that'd be 5. What's my spell modifier? That would be 4. Yeah, so 9 health back to you. 9!
You really are a
Melody.
German Shepherd.
Melusine.
That's where we're going.
So
Bingo, the
Valnal
Mackenzies
looks a
are
little
German
freaked
Shepherd.
out by what's going on with the dwarf and the orc.
I'm gonna motion for him to come
My
over
dad
to me.
is time to
Get away
leave
from
immediately.
that.
Uncomfortable.
This is the fridge.
Brandon, you see.
I'd rather take the guillotine.
Where do you want him to go?
Just he can come
It's
stand
getting
near
a little
me.
too rocky over here.
Just get him away from me. No!
Oh, dwarf.
What?
He's just so close to other people. I just fear for his life. Okay,
Nice and clumped up. That's good.
smart way to play.
Yeah.
Alright, who's still alive that we can kill?
Just the one guy.
Yeah, the one guy.
He's almost dead.
Good God.
He's been watching us love on each other.
He just needs to
Whatever.
get hit one good time.
He wants
He is petrified.
Join
He
us.
looks a little wigged out.
What the hell did I get into?
It's 1v9.
Alright.
We're very
Let me
close.
try a spell again. I
Long
controlled
Nights
it
in the Dark
at
Cave
a
will do that to
16.
you.
Got it.
Hallelujah. Freaking Luya. Alright. 16 to hit.
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, and he gets. What do I have to?
If your spell lasts longer than
He's
short
dead.
rest.
Okay, great.
So
He,
ridiculous.
he bursts into flame. Already,
It's so
already
pretty.
injured, already burned before he falls to the fire.
Good.
And with that, the
Controlled
cavern
it this
is
time.
dark once
Hey, you got a
more.
spell up.
No.
No. That.
Great when the
And just
wizard
like
can
that-
cast a spell.
We're all alone. Cool. Or dark. It isn't actually all that cool in this room, realize. Those of you who are back in that tunnel realize that you're actually kind of warm.
We just got done fighting.
That too. But the air in this room seems a little bit warmer.
We're in
You remember-
Chernobyl.
You remember that it was warmer before.
He's kind of like
Yeah, it's magical Chernobyl.
Quick,
Grew up
we
there.
gotta hide the bodies.
Spoil my surprise.
That is
Just
true.
throw them under the water.
We need to.
Oh.
Yeah.
You don't have to hide
They
them.
float. You ever had a floater?
Oh my gosh,
should have
Gary,
ammunition.
this is get
I
a
got-
knife,
I
you
got
open their
one.
stomach, you pierce their lungs, all of the air
Throw
sacs
them
are
up in the
open
rafters.
and they
Throw
will
them in the
sink.
spider rafters.
No, that's too much work.
What?
Just stab them a bunch of times and they'll sink.
Just tie.
You just want to make sure there's no air in the body. It's not that hard.
Rocks. With the lungs.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that also will work.
Fill their pockets.
I mean, or their lung. That too. But sure, pockets are fine.
So,
We do pockets.
any of you who wish may roll a perception check.
how's about a 20 something?
Okay.
What 20,
Mod 20.
20,
8.
8?
22.
Gotta get you done.
I did roll. I'll take the
I
passive.
rolled the top- the
I got a
one
5, but
I
Honora.
got a 6.
Mod 20.
No, I get
Honora also gets a 5, and Bernard got a 16.
Okay.
So
From now on, if you're going to use them, you can use them to give you advantage. How about that? Gary, you're conscious again, right? You got healed?
Yeah,
All right.
I have 9 health. now.
Well, as you look deeply into Thoric's eyes, you don't notice anything.
What do I smell?
Bard, your
Oh,
canine ears,
flesh.
your canine ears detect elf flesh, and
My ears detected?
Man, some
you're,
5G.
you're not. Orn, you can hear the distinct sound that you recognize from your years of combat experience. The sound of metal on metal, as if armor plates are clanking together.
We need to go
Wait.
back.
You
this
hear
way.
footsteps on stone.
Let's go.
Bard,
Let's go. Let's
you
go.
can smell and hear many footsteps
Well,
approaching.
Ian's gonna say there are 4 more coming. They could be bringing more because there have been 10 previous.
Yeah, let's go back
Yeah.
that way.
I
where
agree,
we
let's
came.
go.
We're gonna all Aruga! Dive under.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so I think this is actually an excellent place to stop. So you got, just to clarify, you guys are going down underneath the little water.
Yeah, going back to where the miners were.
All right,
Mhm.
cool. So we will be back from intermission
Miners.
here at 8:45. So I think it's a 20-minute break. Is
Shoot. Okay.
that good?
We'll take a nap.
Wait, do we normally take a 15 or a 30?
We normally take a 15-minute.
Oh, okay.
We're ending 5 minutes early, so I figured
okay.
for consistency's sake.
That's cool.
I also need to get some aspirin. Because I forgot to drink enough today. So, with that, we will see you all back here at 8:45.
You didn't drink it.
I didn't drink enough.
Okay.
And we're back with more of DMs who can't remember simple tasks. And they're players who
Also can't remember some.
also simple can't remember.
Also simple? Really?
We have very simple.
Thanks.
Got simple things.
That is stupid.
I think I said also can't accomplish simple
That one
tasks.
doesn't reckon.
That better?
Sure.
Woo! All right. So, this episode's sponsored by Bayer.
Unofficially?
So, we pick up as you guys surface. Surface and rig for action on the far side of the alcove.
Did they see us?
No, you didn't see anything in the room, but as you surface on the other side, in a narrow corridor, one side filled with rubble of strewn stones and some faint bluish pebbles scattered amongst them. On the other side, a long, watery, small pond basically fills half the chamber. As you kind of collect yourself in the water, you can hear the distinct sound of clanking metal and splashing water coming from the chamber beyond. A roughly 6-inch gap that separates the water from the rock.
When we get out on the other side, I want to prepare myself to attack anything, not us, that comes up from that water.
Since there's a little gap, can I like crocodile under there?
Sure.
And, like go peek across and see what the knights and
You see one knight, he wears a resplendent suit of armor. It's not full armor, it's more like half plate. He's got a helmet and a very, very nice sort of palm leaf inlay breastplate. And, he carries a pair of weapons on his belt. He also carries a spear and a lighter shield type. He is decked out, is what you can see from him. He's accompanied by 4 guards, and they survey the room and the damage around. Coming down the steps behind him, you see a familiar figure to you, Bard. An elderly, bent elf. His face wizened and gray. Itar limps into the room, like hobbling. He steps into the room. Behind him, you see 4 more guards. Their spears raised in attention. They walk behind him to the room. Yet again, no one to be seen. Let us down again, young knight. The knight shifts around at him. It was you who sent them on that task. You who allowed them into the mines to begin with. You think they would not notice the stones that were down here? Old age has dulled your senses, Vizier. And Fighter chuckles. It is of no matter. You will be dead soon. Come. I'll collapse the tunnel behind them. shifts around, and the group depart.
I I paddle back over to him.
The only person in the entire party who can't communicate such a complex
Well.
concept. This should be good.
You can.
So I'm like, I come back up to the water. Are you guys on shore? Are there any like pebbles of rocks?
Well, I was waiting there by the water, so if anything popped up, I didn't recognize.
I just kind of like crocodile back over to you guys. And are there any rocks on shore,
Ah.
like little pebbles or whatever?
There. So the rubble that covers roughly about this is a long room that rounds off to the right. This tunnel here looks like it has been heavily excavated.
It's on the map right here, right?
It is. Yeah, you can see it. It's the northernmost tunnel on there. And in fact, I will put that up for our fans.
Are there any little mounds of rocks?
So you can see that there are little pebbles scattered amongst the rubble. It looks as though it was heavily excavated.
So I guess I'm going to go over to Orn, and I'm going to go over and point over back where I went.
You want me to go back? Okay.
All right, and then I push the pebble with my nose, and then
You want to bury a rock?
He's trying to play fetch with it.
Oh, I pick it up and I throw the rock.
I have like.
I look up, and then I look back down at the pebble.
Rocks fall?
He wants to play.
Okay, so rocks are falling over there?
Because of us. Oh, well, good job. Well done.
Okay.
What's
But
wrong
we
with the
don't hear
stone?
anything.
And I point at each of you with my snout, and then I roll over and play dead.
Are we about to die? Should we
From
go
the
back?
falling rocks, or just in general? Right. So we're always about to die. Yeah.
Rocks fall, we all die. I get it.
Sure.
So should we go back or go this way?
And I
Maybe his
cock my
dog,
head to
maybe
the
his dog
side.
senses is
Point
detecting
us
an
in the
earthquake.
direction that
Or
we're
peanut
least
butter.
likely to die in.
Which direction should we go?
Hold on.
Lead the way.
How the hell is he understanding us?
He's a
This-
dog.
He
This is-
understands.
Something's weird about this thing.
I know. The first thing that's weird is the fact that we haven't put it on a leash.
Well, he does Thunderwave. So.
Fair point.
That's weird.
Also,
So
nobody's
yeah.
been picking up his poo.
Should we go this way?
You know,
Or go
usually
back.
rag it.
Well, there's got to be a way out this way.
All right.
too.
Well, dog, do you want to go in the other chamber
Which way are you going?
under the water? Do you want to go this other way?
Towards the mines where we were earlier?
Okay, that's a yes. So let's just
that's
go
a,
that
I
way.
guess. Alright.
It's not really much of a choice.
Oh, this is so difficult.
We'll find the exit over here.
So, you guys proceed down the rubble.
Yeah,
Mhm.
where your not spiders are at.
Towards the crucible.
You know that's where they're at.
Back towards the crucible, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Make a true Lassie guessing game. Merrick suggests that you send a secret message to me next time.
Oh God.
you know that's
We're all gonna
fair.
be like-
That's fair. I would have had to write all that out beforehand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's no way I was going to know that you were going to be the
Only
only
the
one who was
dog.
going to bother to peek back. That is a good point, though. Constantly gauge that. So as you head down the tunnel winding to the right,
I don't like this.
you begin to hear a rumble in the earth from behind you.
Lift it up.
And as you
Oh.
round the tunnel a little bit more to the right, past the watery depths, you hear a distinct rocky crash from behind you, and the air pressure swells briefly as a wave of wind blasts down the tunnel from behind you.
Oh, that was close.
Wow, we
Good job, boy. I proceed to pet the dog.
You're my best
I've
friend.
already petted you for the day.
Yeah, I got more than my best friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
He likes the
No.
healing, but
By definition, that seems unlikely, but
My next best friend. You're my second best friend.
new best
Oh.
friend.
Get off-brand peanut butter.
You got that great value shit, don't you?
It's the goober kind,
Hey,
mixed with the,
I want a bunch
the
of-
jelly.
Oh, gross.
That works.
So the tunnel widens into the alcove that you saw before. Mining tools are abandoned here. It looks as though this area was mined clean, and now only a few shiny blue pebbles glow. Orn, I need a Constitution saving throw from you, please.
Why me?
Get that right?
Because
He's a
you
dragonborn.
have Chernobyl rocks.
16.
Oh wait, I have that too. So
The safer, right?
Yeah, I have a list. So Gary took one, you took one, and Orn took one, right?
Yeah.
Yep. That's it. Nobody else, because Bar didn't take one, Melusine didn't take one, and Eve didn't take one. Yep.
16.
16.
Yep.
You feel fine. A little bit cooler as you step into the tunnel here. Begin to wind your way down the tunnel. As you do, you see the yellow-orange light coming from ahead, which you know is originating from the crucible.
Oh,
Ooh, good reference.
How heavy is this rock?
It's
out of 2.
so I mean it's not terribly heavy. It's
What,
just
2 pounds, 3 pounds?
sorry, you meant it like in actual weight. I think it's like a 4-pound rock.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought you meant like relatively.
Asmodine says whoever's playing needs to go an octave higher.
I don't know how to control that.
in the key of F sharp mine.
It just has a note here for like super
noticed.
super friendly calming music. I'm turning that on.
Yeah, that's really calming.
Mm-hmm.
But it would appear we need to get out of here.
Well, there's only one
Yeah.
way we can go.
Up.
I feel like something is telling us that we need to go that direction.
Do we be sneaky?
Let's go in the other
or
direction then.
We can't.
We sneak
I
on.
just want to be country.
Maybe we should send a scout ahead. Sneak around,
Maybe you should ask nicely.
please.
Please,
Well, since
please,
I'm already
please.
messed up, well,
You can always send the dog that can't say anything.
No, I'm done with that.
Anybody have
Sit.
rope?
Stay.
Tie a rope
Good
around
boy.
him.
I'll go scout ahead. Also stealth.
Okay.
Stealth and
Yeah, roll stealth.
Uh,
Very good.
stealth.
All right, roll me an investigation check. The room you're entering is very well lit as you walk past the mining room.
On 20.
Okay. Oh my.
And we will be following at a safe
There's a
distance for her stealth. But
So, are you gonna allow her to go ahead, and then follow, or are you gonna like keep a certain distance back from her?
Yeah,
Hear a
actually,
word.
what do you guys think? Do you guys think we should follow her? Hey guys, do you think we should follow her a little bit and stay a safe distance or stay here?
I think it's better if we do follow it.
Yeah,
so
let's
we
keep
don't
moving.
be separated.
Okay, what's a good distance?
60 feet?
I don't know.
100 feet.
Sure.
I would say a hop, skip, and a jump is good.
That's about 100 feet, okay?
About 100 feet.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know that
All right.
measurement.
Eve,
Good hop, skip, and jump.
as
How
you
many
walk into the
meters is
room,
that?
you keep to the shadows along the northern wall, and you can see the large crucible that sinks into the earth, going down one depression and then another depression as you come closer. You're very near a watchtower, and you can see that there is movement inside the watchtower, but as you approach, you can see that the attention seems to be focused on the depression at the center of the room. not to the exterior of the room. And as you keep to the rock face, blending with your earth-colored cloak that you pull around, you merge into the shadows, the meager shadows that appear along the wall. As you,
Azimir said something about 10 meters, and I said, how big is 10 meters? I'm American. We measure in burgers and freedom.
anyway,
And we're back.
as you pass the tower, you can see that there is a large platform in an open space. Hanging above the platform are several chains and pulleys that hang in midair. They seem to extend on up into infinity into the sky above. Next to that, you see a loading dock with a crane, and you realize that this is an elevator landing. Beyond that, you can see there is a deep chasm that descends into nothingness.
Dark vision, I can't see.
No, you can't.
Superior
Yeah,
dark vision.
no, ma'am. This is a very, very deep. It just goes down. So I have a question for you. There are roughly two paths in front of you. One going due east and one going due south. Which way do you want to go? You'll be going past the elevator either way.
I see.
So to the east, you see a fissure lit by the fires of the crucible, now roughly behind you and off to your right. You can see a very dark fissure, like the one that you just passed miners working in. This one doesn't appear to have lights or torch fire burning in it. Doesn't appear to have any activity. It's very, very dark ahead.
And to the side.
To the south, you see more lights. A ring of torches surround the landing platform here for the elevator, and you think you can see another ring of torches off to the south. There are guard towers. There are at least two more guard towers along this deep depression that fills the space off to your right. They are looking down. There is some activity around here, and there's also, you can hear the sound of echoing voices coming from the depression, but you can't make out what they're saying. Definitely
When you
seems
were
as though
saying
there's
that they're all watching.
going on
like
inside that
walking.
pit.
Okay, but the elevators in that.
The elevator is on, so if you look at the...
Where platform?
You're here, along the square, just north of the square platform. You can't see into the depression here. You can see a little bit more down this tunnel, and you can see down that way.
It's like the secretary of the else.
I think at this point I'll go back
Okay.
and let the party know what I found.
You guys are at the mouth of the fissure. As you stand there, seemingly appearing out of nowhere, Eve steps from almost open air in front of you.
Jeez. Eve, warn us.
Oh,
God.
You about killed Gary.
But there we are.
Whoa!
He's a late reaction. He's a little slow.
Oh my god.
Slow.
Perfect timing. Well done.
Oh man, that was the moment.
Oh, she said she told us what she saw?
Yes. What do you think, Gary?
Well, I always have good luck going south.
It's so specific.
Now, who can argue with logic like that?
Alright.
Oh man.
From my experience, south is always the way to go.
Alright, so which direction south?
That way.
Mark?
Is he pointing south?
Are you pointing south?
Yeah, I'm pointing the one where she described the south direction.
The southerly direction.
I'm just making sure he's not just completely asinine.
It's Gary, so I don't know.
That's the side.
I don't know if you meant to point south.
That's the way where you said there wasn't guard towers.
No, there are guard towers to
They're
the
guard
south.
towers.
The place where there are not guard towers is to the east.
I said east.
my life.
That's not going
Every
So
time.
going to the fissure.
It's good to know that things don't change, even if we have like an entirely new campaign with new players.
Well,
It's
we
just
still know
very,
what
it's very,
direction
very
it is.
consistent.
Yes.
The only thing, the only other thing that's consistent in that is me giving descriptions, which doesn't bode well for my descriptiveness.
Let's stay at the darker path.
Oh well,
Yeah, I
We
can't
gotta
argue
find
with
a way
that.
out of here.
it
What
is
do you guys
definitely
think?
darker.
What do
All
you
right.
think? East?
Eve,
East to south.
East.
East.
Rough?
Yes.
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 Eve, you may assist them with making a stealth check, or you may roll a stealth check on your own.
Help us.
So if you do it by yourself, you're you have advantage on stealth, right?
I mean,
Okay. So the way that we'll do this is that you can give them advantage sneaking by, and then you'll have disadvantage because you're having to help them.
All right, guys. Let's keep it nice and
Oh,
quiet
naturally
here.
stealthy.
You ever tried to help children move through a parking lot without getting run over yourself? That's why you have disadvantage. The kids will be fine. You maybe not so much.
Have you seen your future?
You or you could just leave them there if you if you just want to like fly through, you can do that. And I'll allow you a stealth check on that one.
Don't worry
no
about us. We
negatives.
got this. I have disadvantage on stealth checks regardless.
Or you got or if there's another alternative you guys
if
want
I
to
gave
try,
you
you can do that
advantage,
too.
You just have one.
14.
Yeah, I'll just stay in the back.
You're going by yourself?
We're all gonna have to stealth check.
Are we all
Or-
doing stealth checks or just one?
You're going. If I help, y'all will have advantage. So what? They'll roll twice.
Mhm.
Or, okay, so you'll roll twice. Then I have the disadvantage.
I'll
Gotcha.
just have regular.
You'll just do a regular roll.
You're gonna have to talk loudly playing it how it's all of it.
We sneak. Do we make like the little piano? Can you make the piano notes? Say, do,
I need to change my shoes.
Now I can't control the piano music
So,
implicitly.
are you helping us or
I'll
not?
play it on my piano at home, and I'll send it to you. To
Think about your
use.
character.
It should
What
be
would
like
you do?
My piano's out of tune. Doesn't work.
There's no wrong option here,
I'll give them advantage.
Thanks.
except the wrong option.
Oh,
Yeah, but for that advantage.
20. Well, I will choose to forego my
Okay.
second roll.
Okay. So it's what?
That's a modest
investigation?
20.
No, stealth.
15.
Now.
Your
15.
rolls?
15?
Probably 0.
and I'll.
I'm just going to abstract
18.
yours, and you'll just do one roll.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
18.
18.
Not 20.
I'm sorry, I don't know what's looking at you. I was looking at Lauren.
You got an extra?
15.
Sneaky old man. Well, I rolled
Oh.
14 at first, but since we got an
Wow.
What's your modifier to that?
Plus 5, so
So, all of you make your way past stealthily, moving along the shadows. Eve mostly leading you and concealing you with her cape as she moves by. As the last of you is sneaking by, Eve puts a foot wrong, and a couple rocks break free. You hear a voice cry out from one of the guard towers. "Oh, is he run away?" Suddenly, you see several swinging lanterns with beams of light generated from the reflective surfaces behind them, beginning to play along the wall.
They made a spotlight.
All of you can make an athletics check to dive into the darkness and hide. Eve, you'll need to make a stealth check, normal stealth check, not with advantage or disadvantage, against their attempt to spot you.
Athletics check. Are you kidding me?
Athletics to hide?
Athletics to run into the darkness.
Well,
I shouldn't even roll.
I got
Any of you
die.
who wish may assist Gary.
Help me!
I will,
The dog drags Gary into the darkness.
I will
I
pull
should
him
be
with,
proud.
with me.
Okay,
18 on the south.
there you go.
Do I need to roll to pull him?
That's exactly what you needed, actually.
Wait, so when I'm getting help, do I roll twice?
Or do
Yes,
I?
you roll twice.
Yeah, thank the heavens.
Yeah, thank goodness the dog is there.
Fuck.
You know, you're
There it is.
One per game.
One. You
Where's the
take the other
check
roll.
mark?
You got a 1?
You take the other
You
roll.
take the higher, yeah.
Rolled a 4.
Wait, were you rolling twice? Oh, you
He's
know.
a
-3.
Well,
And
that's
a
good.
-3 modifier, so 1.
I'll wait there and
At
drag
least
you.
it's not a natural one.
Either one or
He's
you
like,
get- either one or
I'm
you get
hiding.
two.
Bells begin to ring from around
I got
the
it,
crucible,
Don't worry.
and as you make your way
I got a
off,
23, by the way.
And
Okay.
a 12.
all of you feel certain that only one of you was really spotted by the lights because those lights tend to focus on Gary as he recedes
Isn't his
around
old
the.
man skin like just shine?
Well, look, just leave him out there and they'll take pity on him because he's old. We're fine. Just
Okay.
all of us
They're
hide.
really gonna think he's a runaway.
Andy, I got a 6. I don't know if that also constitutes as a fail.
That does also constitute as failure. So their love their love unforgotten. Thoric and Gary are caught in the beams of multiple spotlights
Oh, check on that blasted rock.
as they rush back into the
Are these two
darkness.
just like arguing in the spotlight? What the hell are you doing?
So you guys make it around the edge of this deep chasm that falls off into the darkness. And as you do, as you make your way further down the fissure, you can hear the sound of bells ringing from around the crucible and the sound of commotion being generated.
It's lovely.
So now you guys are standing to the north. Here. North of the crucible and looking off into this chasm. You hear water rushing across stone, somewhat gently. You can hear water rushing across the stone ahead of you. And there's not a quick path from the crucible to you, so you feel like you've got maybe a minute or two here before whatever pursuers are headed after you make it around that deep chasm that's dividing you and them. You guys want to proceed?
Quietly.
Yeah, because we've done a great job with that.
Stealth is our specialty.
We think it is.
All right, so
It's fine.
if you guys can hear the sound of commotion behind you, so you know if you stay here.
Yeah, I mean,
You
we're
won't be
gonna
alone
continue-
very long.
Let's continue going, trying to get.
All right, so you're going east.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going West.
East.
Yeast.
West.
No, we're going east, not west.
East.
Yeast.
All right. As you stand here for a minute and you consider your bearings, all of you can roll a perception check. You begin to walk away.
Ooh, nat 20.
There we go.
Finally learned how to sneak.
18.
Oh, you
Nat
suck.
20!
I like that. I like the last suggestion.
Snake.
That's a good one.
Stick shit. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
What else you got?
11.
Snowman.
Alright! Do you have any more?
All right, so you got Melusine, you're on an 11.
Oh,
Yes.
you 3.
What'd you get?
Use
Nat
my
20.
slots.
No, you both got nat 20s?
That's
Oh,
right.
that's why you. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, freak my phone.
Gary,
It's clever.
Orn,
It's how the orcs talk.
Eve.
18.
Okay.
Oh, above 10.
Eve, Thoric, and Bard. All of you hear the distinctive sound of chirping coming from below. Orn and Bard, you recognize animalistic chirping. This sounds like insectoid chirping, like almost like crickets coming from the deep
What's
chasm.
non-animalistic chirping?
Oh,
Like a
Like a
mechanical
bird, like a bird
Oh.
whistle, or yeah, like a,
Okay, I
like a
was
machine.
like a cog or like a
Can
like
I
a wheel.
speak with animals?
That Twitter notification.
Sure. I mean,
Haha.
can you?
Yeah, I can.
Don't
I
you
got
have to
that
see
spell.
the animal?
I don't know. Let me take a look. I've come
What
back.
about
Yeah,
if he
all right.
smells the
So
animal?
this is as you guys are stepping away from the ravine, from the chasm here, and heading off into the darkness. Ahead of you, a dark fissure opens. You can see that this area appears to have been mined at one point.
Yeah, that sound is great.
Is that Gary?
You're heading across.
One of his farts.
You're heading across largely open ground that's featureless except for deep grooves from the drag sleds that the miners have been moving through here. Ahead of you, you can see the bluish glow on the far wall of the ore that sits in the rock undisturbed. Around that, you can see stalagmites rising from the earth around it. First time you're seeing that. As you approach closer, you see another deep chasm opening in the ground ahead of you.
So I don't have to see him. It just says you gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration 10 minutes. and basically limited by their intelligence, but at a minimum they can give me information about nearby locations, monsters, or whatever they can perceive or have perceived within the last day. And I might be able to persuade them to do a simple task, if at your discretion.
I would say you can definitely speak to them if you want to, but you're going to need to see them.
But I can't, hear them?
But you can definitely hear them.
Hear what they're chirping?
Yeah, they chirp and
Chirping
speak of fungus and of food, glorious food everywhere, plenty, and a feast.
Hey, guys.
Okay.
As your
Lion King.
as your voice recedes, and do you keep walking?
Yeah, I'm going with the party idea.
You Bard, hear this chirping coming from ahead, from the deep chasm ahead of you as well, and a reply comes from this other chasm.
Oh.
Come join us.
Hey, my name's Bart. What's your name?
Oh no.
You guys just see me at the edge going, Bart, Bart.
We are the feast.
Feast? You got food down
We
there?
feast.
I
So
like
much
food.
food. So much food. Plenty of food. Come feast.
Okay. One second, I'll be right back.
I know this look. What?
He's hungry.
I got food here. Look.
He's always hungry.
Oh, peanut butter?
This is better than whatever it is you're gonna find.
Well,
in
we
the
don't have
ravine.
time to go sniff
don't have
around. Let's
time.
go.
So as you guys
I
head
will tie a
forward,
rope around you.
all of you can observe the chasm in the floor. As you do, you realize there's something dark on the ceiling above. You look up,
No.
you see another fissure rising into the ceiling, corresponding in the shape of the chasm beneath. You realize that this hole goes vertically into the ground.
Like a
And as you
drill
approach
site?
it,
Like a
Abort.
drill
It looks
site?
very
Abort.
natural.
Abort.
It's very natural. So you're heading into this tunnel here, and you can see that the tunnel proceeds on to the south, and you can see a bubbling brook running through the space, dividing
babbling.
you from the far continuation of the tunnel.
I think we should not be here.
I agree.
At
I
all.
agree. I agree.
I
Maybe-
said south was the way to go.
Yes, you did.
I knew it.
Fine.
Just
It's
let it
always
happen.
south.
Well, I think we.
You are so right.
I don't want to be here.
Someone grab the dog. Keep talking
here.
about
I'm
it.
going to-
So the tunnel continues.
Follow
The
us.
tunnel continues to the south as you look on your. If you guys look at the maps, the tunnel does continue to the south.
I'm going to tie a rope around you.
Do you have a rope?
I do.
Oh, you said there was a
Good
dead
luck
end.
with that.
No way out. Oh, we're
Yeah,
over
all
here?
right, you revealed a little bit more than I meant to,
Tie it
but
like a
Oh,
harness.
I was just looking for something action.
so you guys
I thought
look.
we were right here, right?
You guys are right here.
Here?
You've gone beyond that.
Oh, we're over.
There you go. You can see the stream.
Oh, we see this stream.
Yep.
See the street. It's revealed. It's all revealed. All is revealed.
I can't tell what you're directing them
Okay,
to
you know
do
what?
without
You know what? We'll just wing it.
Here, you fix
We'll do it live.
Look, renegade.
O'Reilly!
The best laid plans.
There's a dead end that way. Don't go that way.
We'll
Anyway.
stay true over here.
You can see the chasm ahead of you, and you can see the stream to your south. Back the way you came, you see lights beginning to play upon the surfaces of the wall, and you hear a commotion as if of many footsteps on stone.
Oh,
What? Spooders.
What?
The
What?
spooders are coming again. I've
Are
heard
you
this sound
speaking
before.
Orcish?
Are you having a
Spiders.
stroke?
What? Can you move your facial muscles? Smile.
I am smiling.
He's had a stroke.
Smiling right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are certain signs to look for if someone's had a stroke. If they look like Gary, they've had a stroke.
Tastes like nickel.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'll taste them.
God.
All right.
What do you guys think we should
Terrible
do?
people.
You can see the lights approaching. The sound of footsteps.
I think we gotta keep going.
Jump in the water.
Yeah, that's no.
No,
Don't disturb the water. First roll.
for Ross' sake.
Let's keep going.
Which way are you going?
The way that we were going.
Wait, there's a stream
Across the water.
Across the water.
No, no,
No.
no.
You just
I,
don't
I have the
know.
rope
Yeah,
out. No.
You told me not to. All right.
I will have Benob
Yeah,
pick
go
you up
this
and
way.
carry you.
Yeah, that way.
So we gotta cross the
Poof.
water.
You know he goes poof.
All right.
Remember how I said
Still
don't
trying.
cross the water? Oh, now we're crossing the water.
You approach the stream.
God, please be good.
The stream's a good 20 feet across.
We'll give
It's
you that
it's
rope
rather
for
deep.
that.
It's rather deep, and it's a good 20 feet across.
Is there current?
There is a current. It flows on your map. It flows east to west.
To the east.
Oh, it's like the Nile River.
What's the Nile?
Denial. What you live in.
As you all move rather close to the chasm here, I'll say you can. It's quiet enough here. There's no commotion from the crucible. So as you move close enough to this chasm, you can hear the sound of chirping coming from deep in the chasm.
I don't like any of this.
Well, what does the chirping say?
East, come join us.
Feast. Yeah.
Food, plenty.
Does this chirping
Plenty of
sound
food.
remind us of our little baby spiders that we encountered?
No, it sounds different. They didn't chirp. I don't recall them saying.
I'm
Hey,
The area here, as you move past the chasm, is close enough to the wall face where you can see the bluish rocks glowing, and around those bluish rocks you can see all manner of old mining equipment that has been abandoned here. It looks as though there was a mining operation here at one time, and they just left all the tools, the scaffolds, all of it bundled up against the wall here.
last time we saw this spider.
I
Right.
tell the insects. Yeah, sorry guys, I had like an entire honey glazed ham the other night, so I'm still pretty full. But you guys enjoy yourselves.
You don't really get a very as Bard barks into the chasm, the lights begin to play more frenetically on the wall, and you can hear the sound of people coming down the tunnel now.
I stuff more food in your face.
Oh,
Oh. What am I eating?
It's
it
dried,
matter?
it's dried
Tried
beef.
something.
Are we close enough to the water where I could like feel the water, see if it's hot?
Sure.
Stop using that die.
roll for it.
I roll it.
I don't know.
I meant to say roll a perception check. Sorry, roll a perception check.
Well, I don't know if I should just take my passive perception now.
No, you can't do that. That's a different skill. Yeah, passive perception is something different. Because you're actively looking right now.
What'd you get, Gary?
Oh, well, I rolled a 3 before you told me to roll.
Okay. Well, what's your percent? So,
Sword.
what's your total? All right. The water is not hot. It's cool water.
Oh, yeah.
It is moving quicker than the stream that the water that was rather sedentary before. This water has actually got a current to it, and you realize that it's actually rather deep as you get here. You can't quite see the bottom of it. Got a deep blue to it, not like a glow.
I'm like 6 something. I might just step in and see how deep it is.
What if we try to just take the river out of here? Lead somewhere.
Oh, I thought you were saying like remove the river.
Sure, why not? We'll take this river, put it in the middle of
Erase
the
the
desert,
river.
and then I can go home.
We hop in the river.
Just
Close.
move it, sure, yeah.
That sounds like a really
Oh,
dangerous
my God.
idea.
I hop in the river.
Oh god.
Bard, you hop in the river?
I hop in the river.
Okay.
I follow them.
Hop in with them.
It's easy. It's cool. It's not cold. It's cool. You don't feel the bottom as you jump in. You go under the water, and
I rarely feel the bottom, so.
you have dark vision though, right?
just kidding. I have dark vision.
Okay. Roll me a perception check as you dive under the water here. Who else is diving into the water?
I'm 6'7" and I tried to stand.
I'm little, and I will dive in the
You're
water.
going
as well.
to
Okay.
drown.
Is this a smell
Roll me an athletics
related
check and a perception check. I need numbers for both of them. Same for you, Orin.
Athletics and perception.
Athletics and
Is
perception.
this a smell-based thing?
Athletics
You're
15.
No, this is sight-based.
Side-based. Okay.
Athletics
Nothing.
15.
Athletics 15.
Mhm.
You your heavy metal armor tugs you under, and you're barely able to keep your head above the surface as you do not feel the bottom. You tread water successfully and stay on the surface for now.
On 20.
On
for
20.
Athletics.
Calling upon your lizard abilities to store water underneath your scale, store air underneath your scales. You stay a little bit more buoyant. Yeah, your tail would also help you swim a little bit better. You're able to stay up, but you're having a difficult time fighting the current here.
I have that chair collapse.
And you realize that as you stay in this cool,
13 for perception, too.
as you stay in this, if you want to stay where you are.
I thought we were going with it to try and get away.
Okay, I didn't realize you guys were actually doing that.
Kind of take
Yeah, I
it
thought
out.
we were hopping it into flow with the current to
Okay.
find an escape.
Are you hopping into, Gary?
Well, I wasn't gonna dive in like
Okay.
they were.
So you got a 13 on your
I was gonna
perception.
sit and
Thor?
scoot.
We were rolling for athletics and perception.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then yes, 15
15?
For both?
for both athletics and because there was one roll for both.
No,
right?
one roll each.
One roll each. Yes, sir.
So you pick one.
So definitely athletics, we're keeping that one. But for perception, I got a.
Then you re-roll the dice for your perception.
Because I already rolled.
Did you roll twice?
Yeah, I rolled twice. This is the second roll.
Gotcha.
Perception, I got an 8.
Okay. And Bard, your perception.
Oh, it's like a 3, 6 or something like that.
Okay.
I don't see it.
So the two of you flounder out of the water in your eyes. Orn dives into the water. Orn, you think you see something underneath the water, something dark.
I told you you have to start the water.
And as you come to the surface, you manage to gain control of your flow. You can hold your position here or go with the flow, and you won't be sucked under.
Where's
for
the
now.
dog going?
Hmm?
Where's the dog and the other one? You know,
Are you guys going with the flow, or are you
Oh,
going
yeah,
to?
with the
Okay,
flow.
so you guys begin to flow down at about your average speed, being taken with the current. Gary, Eve, Lucine, what are you guys doing?
I'll walk alongside
Okay.
the stream. I'm not getting in.
Oh, guys,
Can we keep
I'll
up with them
I'll
if we
briskly
walk
walk.
alongside them?
Briskly.
You just encourage all of us to jump
Power
in
walk.
and you walk on.
What are we sports?
You never want to be the person that
I'll put it in
jumps
the
in the
water.
pool.
Wait, you don't know that.
Oh, yeah. Rate of drowning. My athletic ability is very bad.
This is a
I'll for sure drown. I'm joking. Maybe I can just. Can I old man my way in like to a jacuzzi where?
There is to describe. There is room on the bank for you guys to follow along. The
Yeah,
river.
I'm doing that.
Oh yeah, I'll just do that.
Oh,
Just,
yeah.
just be
Okay.
safe.
All right. So
Okay.
the five of you with Honora and Benab follow along the bank as the three boys float down the stream. So, Orn and Thoric, I need you guys to make athletics checks again.
Oh yeah, 16.
Five.
After a few moments, the air begins to bubble out of your scales, and you feel it is much, much harder to keep yourself above the water. You sink beneath the waves, and as you watch, as you go under the water, this time longer than you intended, you're summoning the strength to come back up. When your eyes open, you see there is definitely a very dark shape underneath this water. It appears to be a hole in the side of the tunnel that has been dug by this underwater riverbed. It is dark and off to the side, and the current is pulling you towards that as you are under the water.
Them too? Do I see it pulling all of us?
They're floating on the surface, but they are being pulled towards it. They're just not getting sucked down into it right now. But
Okay.
you're getting sucked down into it.
Am I able to like breach the surface or whatever for a little bit, or am I?
You can roll a save in a moment here, so, an athletics check and a save. So
Do you notice that he has gone under?
yeah, Orin falls underneath the water. So from behind you, you can see the light lighting up the corridor, the fissure, and the old mining equipment all along that back wall. Looks like the search party has made it to where you were before. Is that a 5?
No. I'm testing my
Wow,
skills.
He's holding the die.
Hold up.
And
It's harder than you think.
that's what she said.
So the 3 of you, the 5 of you, continue on along the way.
Well, if he,
I need
Said the asterisk.
Hmm?
if he didn't reach the surface, I wanted to try to fly,
dive in.
jump in, and see if I can fly
Oh.
out.
Okay.
Get the short fat
You're
one.
wearing light armor, right?
You're underwater.
I'm fine.
Eve, you're wearing
Let him
light
drown.
armor, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're not at any disadvantage as you you're not at any disadvantage as you dive into the water to go in after him. But as you grab onto Orn and try to pull him to the surface, I need you to roll an athletics check with disadvantage.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
woo, 16.
You summon your strength and, aided by his tail motion, pull him to the surface.
That was cool.
That was cool. So you guys are now about
All right.
you guys have now flowed down a good ways. You guys moving along quickly along the edge of the bank begin to see light coming from a wide fissure to the south ahead of you. This one has several torches set up around it, and you begin to hear the sound of beating metal on stone and hammers and pickaxes.
We're screwed no matter
Out
where we
of the
go.
water. Out
Look,
of
Get
the
out.
water.
What time? Is there like a rock or something?
There's a bank that you guys are on.
I get out of the water. Go with us.
You guys are still on the north bank.
Are you banking on that?
Thank you.
I am. Bard.
I'm gonna poop on the shore. I'm done with this.
Okay.
Nope.
No, I don't.
Bard, as you continue to flow down.
Well, can Bernard grab him?
Sure.
Alright.
As Bernard reaches for Bard, you see a dark shape moving in the water around Bard.
Trying to get out of Bernard's arms.
Give me a puppy. I will get you out
Can
of the
anyone?
water.
Somebody roll an athletics for Bernard.
I got you.
Yeah.
Look, I've been rolling once. I got it.
You drowned me.
Okay.
Bernard would go.
Athletics.
Yes, ma'am.
14.
14.
4 shiny
14.
black, slate black legs with a faintly bluish hue to them flash out of the water. You see the
Legs.
faintest hint of fangs that snap out of the water behind Bard as he is wrenched out of the water by Benab.
We just saved you from the joke.
Hey, I'm out of the water, right?
Did
Yeah.
all of
Yeah,
us
you
see
got it.
that happen?
It sinks beneath the waves. The water is dark again. So as you stand here on the bank, Thoric, Orn, Bard, all of you, little wet, little cold
A little bit.
underneath the water, underneath the ground. I'm gonna say it's quite chilly.
Guess who doesn't get to make decisions anymore?
Light.
I'm gonna cast prestidigitation and drown myself.
Dog.
Roll a control. Actually, no, don't, because it's downtime. So, all right. So the lights are approaching from behind you. You guys got a little bit ahead of them. They're a little bit further away. You can see the tunnel, the fissure heading off down to the south is well lit, and you can hear the sound of pickaxes and mining activity. You can also see a fissure now opening directly to your west. I thought you said sorry. Directly to your west, you can see again
You overloaded him.
light,
Shut him
He's
down.
buffering. Give him a minute.
a bright yellowish orange light, very familiar that you saw here. You can see now illuminating the far wall to the west.
We can't see the crucifix.
You cannot see the crucible directly, but you can see the light source that you can see the reflection of its light on the wall. A small wooden bridge is visible also to the west.
Bridge of Cat.
You guys are on the north bank. There's not really a lot of room here. You'd have to go single file, but you could stay on the north bank and not in the water.
That sounds like a good idea.
We're not going.
Be very, very close to the water the whole time.
The water turned out to be bad.
I told you that.
Well, we learned. We can use it to throw people. If you believe for.
No, that's not a terrible
That's-
We
suggestion.
fight them here at this.
Alright.
We fight them at this pass here.
And
We
throw them into the water.
water. 300 stones.
What's 300?
There was a war I
It's
fought
a-
in
it's a
about 100 years ago.
Okay.
Nope.
I led an army of great dwarf
No,
warriors.
you did.
I believe that's for states' rights.
Through a
correct?
pass. I fought in many wars. I fought in at least 13 world wars.
Were you the hunchback one? I think
I
I've heard of this
stopped
story.
Thanos from snapping his finger.
Thanos is
Spoilers!
I was there. when-
Spoilers!
What?
He was there when the.
Oh, I was the one who saved you all. I've been here since time began.
I believe that 100%.
Yeah, we won't-
Yep, yep.
We will fight you on that.
No,
Yeah, you were
that's
there.
the only accurate part of your story.
You are very.
So the
ancient.
lights begin.
Ancient one.
You begin to see the lights in the distance now. They can't quite reach you, but you can definitely see that there's a searching party. Looks to be a handful of people moving along the shore,
You guys
searching
wanna-
along the rocks.
You want to make a stand here? See
Yes.
what happens? In
300 style. Well, maybe not.
I mean, we could set like a trap. Y'all try and hide and.
Feed the boogie monster in the water.
No, there's a thing in the water you can't go.
Well, that's good.
I'm
We use it
soaking
to
wet.
advantage.
I just got
She
onto the
she
shore.
just got out of.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Let's do that. That's fine.
Man,
Is there a place for us to
soaking wet.
hide?
You can conceal yourself. You can attempt to conceal yourself along
What
the
t-shirt contest?
rock face.
Well,
Totally wet.
wait, does do we need to get the other miniature that,
Sweat
that
dog.
she can use?
You dried yourself off.
I did. I can't compete.
No fun.
I could have been a competitor.
It would have been utter failure. I wish you were a cow. That joke would have been better.
A magical cow.
Okay, so I'm going to switch it over here.
Somebody joke.
You guys are near a stream, about 20 feet
Hmm.
across.
Don't forget the spider. Or, sorry, mystery creature.
What makes you think it's a spider?
Oh, maybe it's. What did we have
It's
last
in the
time? Like
water.
a giant alligator crocodile thingy?
Is it that thing that was in
A-
Khazad-dûm?
It's a
Deep-
water croc
A
spider.
thick,
A water croc spider. Yeah.
a thick,
Oh, that's for me in my next.
rocky
Spider.
wall
Rider.
rises here,
Robert.
along which you guys have threaded a narrow course.
Alright.
So
Where can we attempt to hide at?
you guys could attempt to hide against the rock face here.
Okay.
It's uneven, and you guys can conceal yourself until they're right on top of you.
Yep, that's what we're gonna do.
Okay?
Alright.
And she's gonna play the damsel in distress.
I am going to bless Horn.
What spells do you have left?
I have one more spell left. It's Cure Wounds and Healing. And I also have this.
We'll save that until we need it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
So
what is it?
make sure he stays away.
From you?
Combat.
Oh.
No.
We'll make sure we save a healing word for him.
Of course, I can't get by without your healing one.
Oh, I bet.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Butter.
Sweet, sweet Eden.
The sweet healing words.
Negative. My hot mayonnaise.
Oh.
What?
Oh.
What'd you say?
Heart mayonnaise.
And Andy, Asmodian7 said Bob Ross would be proud, happy, little rocking death trap.
We're just gonna paint ourselves a little rocky.
There's no wrong.
Oh my
There's no mistakes when you make battle maps. It's just little accidents. So, on that note, how do you guys want to arrange yourselves? You're gonna get up against the rock face and stay behind its jagged surface until
I'll
we're on
stay
top.
closest to her.
Can
Okay.
I gotta stand back.
Can I poof to the other shoreline?
Sure.
That's within 60 feet, right?
It is. Let me go ahead and.
Split that party.
So, there is. I mean,
This is
This music is wonderful for this scene. Or, I guess it's more ambient sounds.
Love the soundtrack. Jeez.
okay, Bard, where do you want to poof?
I just yeah, just opposite of Orin here.
Here?
Yes.
Okay.
And since I'm Black Shepherdal, I'm just gonna crouch down and kind of go along the bank to get a head start to see what's coming our way, like numbers.
Okay.
So I'm opposite the bank of the approaching enemy.
Yep.
To see who they are, what they are.
So you're doing a scouting mission.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll me a stealth check and roll me an investigate check. Millicene, where are you going?
I'll just get against the wall, maybe toward the back, and I'll have Honora and Bernard on either side of it.
if I handed them my cloak that they could hold up against the rocks, you think that would help disguise them a little?
It would,
bit
it would definitely conceal them better.
Alright.
You're
I'll
not
let
gonna
y'all
wearing it?
have my cloak.
So 17 on stealth and 14 on investigate.
Okay. I'll give you just a second. So where are you going?
I'm gonna be like near the water. Like I've just pulled myself out of the water.
Okay. Behind Orin or in front of him?
I'm hiding in the rocks.
I know.
Okay. She's not.
I get it. So you're trying to show yourself. And I'm gonna say Thork.
I'm the bait.
Yep, Thork's gonna go out here. And Gary, where are you going?
I'm getting right behind Thorok.
Right behind your healing word.
I got my hand on his back shoulder.
Okay. Bard,
Better than sword.
as you move forward using your stealth.
Yes.
You move stealthily forward, and as you do, you see a orc marching at the head of a group of Galthani soldiers. These soldiers look a little bit rougher, a little bit more or less disciplined, a little bit less disciplined than normal soldiers
How many of them?
you've seen.
Altogether?
You see 5 soldiers that look roughly normal build. You see one that looks a little bit tougher, and then you see a female orc marching. She carries a long glaive, and she has a necklace of various skulls around her neck. She wears. She looks a little grisly, and she has one eye darkened.
Okay.
Her other eye, though, looks at you.
Oh,
Like directly? Like directly.
like Mad Eye Moody?
Like her one good eye?
Like her one good eye. She looks at you across the water. Eyes a dog down here.
I'm just like frozen in place.
Did you not hide?
He did.
I was.
He was hiding. He was hiding.
Very quietly, just
He's dog
stealthily.
hiding.
Like doing that, like almost predator walk.
So she totally sees me.
She totally sees you.
And just like.
Where do you want to go? You want to go back?
Back to us.
Anywhere?
Back to Melody.
Down the riverbank.
There's a deep
Down
chasm.
the
There's a deep
riverbank.
chasm. Do you want to go down to the chasm?
Do they have food?
You
Feast?
feel certain they do.
Oh no, I'm gonna poof back to them and let them know just about
Far side or?
Lord have mercy.
Over to them.
Give it away.
All right, so over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
The door.
Okay. You see lights playing along the surface of the water, playing along the far ridge. How are you communicating to Orin? Bard appears. All right, you guys see a procession of soldiers moving along the water's edge.
Do I need to do a stealth check?
Yes, you do.
Oh, those are good.
Woo, it's not starting off good because I have disadvantage. So got a nat 20 and then a 5.
Okay. Orin,
Plus 3.
as you are
Take
concealing yourself, one of the lights plays across the edges of your armor, and you hear the soldiers stop. All right, come out. Let's see you here.
Do they not see me?
Hear a deep voice say,
Our jig is up. Come out now.
Do they see me yet, or?
"Oh, she sees you. Yeah, the lights play on you."
Because I'm gonna kind of pretend, but shivering and walk forward.
See, there's a couple of soldiers get pushed aside. A couple of them like almost falling into the water as this large female orc steps forward, full arm in her hand, one eye staring out at you.
What are you doing here? Fell into the water.
Just now able to pull myself out. Bringing it far toward.
And the Dragonborn. Is right there.
Can I hear them?
Am I riding
talking?
your feet?
I can hear them talking, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna kind of lean over.
All right,
Are they here yet?
all of you out.
Thanks a lot, or.
I'm definitely fascinated
What?
by an orc woman. I'm gonna kind of hobble. I'm gonna hobble with some purpose up there.
Her expression changes as Gary steps out. Like lowers her head a bit.
Honored elder. Travel with them.
You are the most beautiful. I've never seen. Oh.
So her face is badly scarred. She's missing one eye.
That is beautiful for them.
I can see her necklace.
I'm describing for the rest of you. Yeah, and her necklace, she has at least a dozen skulls of various creatures on her, hung around her neck.
Oh. I'm gonna try to take a knee and a little bow towards her, a little curtsy.
You no longer need healing word, do you?
You must need that much.
Thor clenches his heart.
What is your name, beautiful?
Called Cyclops.
Malosine just looks directly at the ground. Reverently.
I'm still trying to hide in the rock. I don't know what to do with this situation.
I own my weakness.
Well,
Did you just wink or?
it's more of a beauty mark if you ask me. Earned in battle, I'm sure.
These mines are not for you. Why are you here?
Well, you see, we happened to stumble in here. And we were trapped. We had the cave collapse on us.
So the only other option was.
We had to
the other
run.
end.
We were down with some guards and the cave collapsed. We were looking for a way out. Please, can you help us?
Roll a deception check.
Deception or
Yeah.
persuasion?
Deception.
What?
It's not
Where's that?
necessarily alive.
I mean,
Can I assist him?
Oh, this is
Sure.
true.
yeah, I mean, you're
Reroll
not
again.
lying.
Reroll.
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 Reroll. I'm assisting.
So 11.
11. Oh.
Did you see a spider?
Yes.
I've actually slain the
Oh, now
spider.
you're
Oh,
talking.
no.
Look at this.
Ah,
Shower the.
you are the ones. I know of you. Come, you must be lost.
She turns.
I'm here. Don't worry. I'll step out.
She turns and motions for you to follow her back.
Come on. Follow her.
You trust her?
Of course. You've seen her.
Are you thinking with the right head?
What? What? Gee, come on. What are you? I've only got 2. And I show her the skull of the.
So Gary, you
slain of a giant skull, ogre skull.
I love it.
Wow.
Gary,
Perfection.
you walk back along the bank, and she waits for you at the head of her small column of soldiers. As you show her the ogre skull at your side, her eye widens in surprise. She bows a little bit lower.
It's truly an honor. See, the elder carries his skills with him.
You like the manly voice?
Words. It's truly an honor to see such a beautiful orc woman. So decorated. In charge of these people. It's great.
I am only a sergeant here.
Well, sergeant of my heart.
Get a room!
Wow. Well done.
Excuse me,
For next
Are you
Valentine's Day.
drooling?
I've not seen an orc woman for quite some time. Believe me.
He
That's
has,
a true, so it should be handled.
he has sea goggles on right now.
So, as you're standing next to her, you can see.
Jesus bloody Christ, happiness.
Accurate.
So, as you
You can't make this shit up.
as you're standing next to her, you can see she carries her body is covered in scars.
Calm down.
In all the right places.
She has seen some serious battle.
All the right scars.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I mean, the bard's gotta do something.
Can't
Yeah.
toss
That
a coin.
that is an inspiration die for you.
Oh,
That was well done.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
You get a D6
D6
inspiration die. Gary, as you're standing next to her, you notice something else. The glaive that she wields is hewn from a dark metal. The haft of the long weapon has orcish runes, blessing the wielder with a successful hunt. These runes are very old. They've been carved in here over generation after generation, all the way down the haft.
Where did you get such a magnificent weapon?
Was my mother's, and hers before her. Come, I will take you to Farik.
Well, okay. Is it safe passage to Farik?
Yes. On my word. On the heads of my 4 children and the 6 horses I tamed.
Children.
4.
Oh, unheard.
Which is very unheard of.
Wow. Okay. Let's go meet Farik.
So Gary knows this, but the rest of you might not know this. Orc women are almost always die in childbirth.
Oh.
So,
So she's very strong.
yeah, she's done it 4 times
Damn.
and gone on. So
Oh,
Angel in the
angel. Oh, angel.
You've already got the inspiration, guys. Shut up.
Name of the episode, Orc Angel.
Headed back the way that you came, you pass the abandoned equipment, and she tells you that the water here is that she's lucky. You guys are very lucky that she came along when she did. They've had several of the slaves go missing near the waters.
We did notice something in the water. We spotted it. Mysterious creature.
Can you please stop talking to her so we can go?
We're following her, right?
She's intrigued, but she doesn't know anything more about it. She leads you back to the room with the crucible, and now that you're in the room with the crucible, you can clearly see down into the pit. There appears to be some kind of a industrial complex next to the base of the crucible. Few buildings with smokestacks billow clear smoke, but clearish smoke. It's like white smoke rising from them. And you can see a long tube system that runs from the base of the crucible into those buildings. 2 deep pits are at the bottom of the crucible, and you can see slaves operating sleds and pulleys and a couple cranes down there, moving large troughs of blue ore to the base of the crucible.
They're humans, you said?
Yep.
She just shouted.
She's walking past it.
Oh.
You head south, past another elevator landing platform.
Going south.
Chains hang in the ceiling above a lowered elevator that rests at the base, and you can see slaves loading ore and material onto this elevator. They're not loading any blue ore on it, though. They're loading iron and some. You can see like some sorted nuggets of gold that are here. Not a whole lot. At the center of that elevator, you see a familiar, large, dark chest, square chest. The same chest that the same type of chest that you were handed in the Tower of Alchemy, which Orin opened.
Don't touch it.
One of those chests sits at the center of this elevator.
Do I feel the burn?
You all the way down. You head past, and as you do, you approach a palisade that is lit by torchlight. Around the palisade, within the palisade, you can see 4 guard towers around a central fortified structure. As you pass through the palisade, you realize you're in a fort, a subterranean fort here. There are Galthani guards, again, not as well dressed or as well armed as the ones on the surface. They look tired and haggard. Many of them look gaunt and almost sickly. But they're still well armed, dressed. And you approach the central complex, where 3 large tents sit inside this fortified structure at the heart of this complex down here. She approaches the tent curtain. She goes, "After you, Elder."
You're so kind. Are you in charge here?
No, I serve Farik. He is the mine Khazar.
I'm gonna go in.
All right. The tent is like kind of flapped open, but as you step inside, you enter a large sitting room. Several cushions cover rugs that have been laid out on the stone floor. A overweight elf sits on one of the cushions, attended by a couple human slaves, and got a large wine goblet. Looks to be reading a series of tablets that are set in wet clay, making notations upon them, working on an abacus next to him. Sees you come in.
Cyclops. Oh, yeah. Now, Cyclops. How are you doing here?
And you're the rest of you, I guess, enter the room
Yeah.
behind.
We're just letting this play out. There's not much we
We're
can
good
do.
for the
Well, I
best.
followed this beautiful woman here. She wanted me to meet you.
Been out in the sun too long, friend orc. Cyclops steps into the room and Rouge. Yo,
You will not speak to him this way. He's an honored elder. No orcs live this long. We honor him. He spends his time with us.
Isn't she just the best? Never.
So the elf's like, look like this. I see. What can I do for you, and what are you doing here in the Arcania mine?
Down here, feels one half of the cave collapsed. Got stuck. Swam under some water and we wound up here. We're looking to get out if you show us the way. Oh, what is the way out?
The elevator?
Well, why are you pointing like I should have known that? Oh, man.
Well, the elevators are the only way in and out of the Arcania mine.
Then may we use them?
Well,
Did you not take them down to the Arcania mine?
No, we came in a different way. The cave collapsed.
From where?
I don't know, some other direction.
somewhere from the north, and then there was a big ruckus.
So you were traveling with the dwarf? Did he lead you here? Under the ground?
Oh,
Friend
he
dwarf?
did not leave. No,
We
he
kind
followed
of
us.
yes. The dog kind of ran in here, and we were like, "Oh, let's go save our
We
pet."
kind of followed the dog.
We got lost because of this animal that nobody will put a leash on, and we need to get down.
There's nothing of interest for you here. I suppose the most expedient thing for you to do is to head back to the surface.
Wonderful. We will do that.
Oh, wait, where do we need to leave so quickly?
Yes.
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 I'm looking at.
She's looking at you, Gary.
Well,
Oh God.
maybe there's some work you do, you know. We can rest for a little bit and.
You hear the rush of footsteps approaching outside.
We need to go,
Yeah, we need to go.
and we need to go find our friend. Remember our friend that we're supposed to be finding?
The one that was there.
Oh,
at the thing.
Lord, okay. Where
The
We
tent,
to
the
go.
tent flap flies open, and a Galfani servant. He's got the magisterial robes on, and he carries a scroll, rushes forward, and hands it to the Tsar. Well, yes, if there was anything that I can do for you to speed your journey out of here, you have but to say. And he looks down at the missive and starts reading. His eyes, he looks at you.
Well, thank you so much. We'll be on our way. The elevator's this way, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
All right.
Yes, that way over there.
Have a lovely day, sir. Thank you so much for your assistance.
Yep.
Goodbye.
And we
To
went
no
out.
mission it.
And
we walk out.
I leave.
And
follow.
I
I
drag the
grab the
dog with
dog.
me.
as you step out of the tent, you hear swords rattling, a bell begin to ring, and the alarm begin to be raised in the camp. And that is where we'll be ending the session for tonight.
And demonetized.
Thank you guys for joining us tonight. So